From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is live coverage of the 2025 ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. It's Balloon Fiesta Live. And now, direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are your hosts, Art Lloyd Jr. and Ted Maes.
Well, hello, world. Here we are again. It is day 1, 2, 3, 4 at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Another day of competition on board. Of course, we're getting started with our Dawn Patrol folks as well. So welcome. Art Lloyd Jr. here along with my partner in crime. I'm going to say it that way this morning. Ted Maes. Good morning, Ted.
I've been causing trouble since dark 30 today.
Yep,
yes,
apparently
I have.
You have.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, so already got a lot of you online, and of course we've been teasing it for 4 or 5 days that today is the day that we are going to release the 2026 theme, which of course is highlighted by the idea of having a new bumper sticker. Now, 2025, Painted Horizons, you've seen that on our website, you've seen it on our bumper stickers, you've seen it on our jackets, all kinds of places. Well, for 2026, the theme is, drum roll, the scenic route. Yeah.
I like it. Road 66.
Yeah.
It is a scenic route.
So we have also been talking about, last night we had the glow in the village with our globitos. And so we set those up because that kicks off the centennial celebration of Route 66, which of course comes right through New Mexico and Albuquerque as well. So we're going to continue to celebrate that. There's already a hot air balloon with the centennial factions on it. And so we're going to help celebrate that. And so next year, the 2026, is a scenic route. That's the theme for Balloon Fiesta.
Wouldn't it have been cool if Sid had actually started the Balloon Fiesta 12 years earlier and we'd be 66 on 66?
That would have been, yeah.
You know.
Hey, now, the other thing is, because we did that glow in the village last night with the globitos, and so all of the stuff, and we took, I think we were supposed to take 66 globitos there, so 66 globitos on 66. We have commemorated that activity by creating a brand new balloon pin, and guess what? As of 3 minutes ago, it was live on balloonfiestastuff.com. So, and there's only 250 of the pins.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So if you wanted to pick up a pin, and we've got a little shot of it here, the artwork. I didn't actually have the pin in my pocket to take a picture, but we have these great new pins.
So wait a minute. There were then 249 pens if you have one in your pocket.
No, I didn't. I didn't have one in my pocket. That's why you have the artwork. There it is.
Okay.
66 on old 66. That's what the new Balloon Globito 66 pin looks like.
Very nice.
So go on to balloonfiestastuff.com, search for 66. The pin should come right up. You can only buy 2. There is a limit of 2. Don't even go there. It'll just delay your exit route. And you can use the QR code to get to balloonfiestastuff.com. The BF Live code does not work on the pin. That only works on sportswear.
No, but while you're there, you can pick up a hat to put your pen on, or a hoodie, or a T-shirt.
Insider tip. Put the pin in your cart and check out.
Okay.
Then go back and use the code for your other merchandise. Because even while it's in your cart, it's not like some of the ticket thing where you've got 3 minutes to get it. No. It keeps taking
until
them
it processes, it's not done. Okay,
that's right.
Good.
Yep, it does not reserve it for you. So
some inside intel there from
you bet.
Art Lloyd Jr.
The
nice.
guy, yeah. So I'm going to keep checking. I'm going to check back here in a minute and see if I can kind of track how many are there. So, new pins. New themes, new bumper stickers, and if you're out here on the field, we also have new schedules. So the tentative schedule is already out for next year as well. So,
and we have a new day of competition, a beautiful day. It looks like it's.
We have a lot of stuff to do yet this week.
Yeah.
So
there's our Dawn Patrol.
I've been hearing them cold packed, and then they said it's time to go hot. So they're going to coordinate their hot inflation and stand their balloons up all together. So we have one of our on-field cameras right there behind the basket with the burner going off. And I see them all standing up nicely together.
And hopefully tomorrow, if everything works out, we will actually have one of our cameras in with Dawn Patrol with pilot Tim Taylor. So we hope to bring that to you live tomorrow morning. But for now, you see the Dawn Patrol getting ready to go. And it's going to be a little bit like Sunday morning. There's not a lot going on while looking at the weather.
Yeah, yes, you've been looking at the pieball reports, and which is the wind reports, pilot, balloon. We send up a little party balloon. Actually, these guys are sending up a little bit bigger weather balloons.
A little larger.
Yeah, a little larger, more because they are the meteorologists. Us pilots just send up the little balloons and kind of watch and say, oh, it goes there, it goes there. These guys actually put theodolites, right, on there to track them so that they know. So exactly, oh, it's now at this altitude and it's going this direction at this speed. So
there's Matthew Grody.
Yeah.
X-rated gesture.
Chick-fil-A. Kids Day is Friday, brought to us by Chick-fil-A. Lots of great free stuff for kids getting here at the field. Get here early because they'll start handing that stuff out by the Main Street stage about 4:30. Again, that's on Friday with Kids Day.
I'm not sure who's doing Chick-fil-A today. It could be Steve Coughing out of Albuquerque since Shalina flew yesterday, but you never know.
Unless they tell us or we're close enough to see whose hand is on the burner.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because we were talking about that yesterday after competition.
Sure.
And, what most people don't realize is, what we're producing here is along the same lines as a regional sports broadcast. So there's a little difference, though. In a regional sports broadcast, you have a basketball game, let's say, and there's 10 guys out on the court, and we know who those 10 people are at all times. And
even the subs.
Yeah, we know the substitutions. If someone gets injured, even in football, you have 22 guys out on the field. You know all about that. With ballooning, it's a little bit different. We have 550 participants, and when they start to fly in on competition, we don't know where Mother Nature's going to take them, and we only have one identifier. Well, we have two identifiers. We have the balloon and we have the banner.
Right.
Makes it a little bit more difficult. So it's sometimes if we're doing competition and there's a little silence there, we're letting you kind of enjoy the same moment we are, but we're also trying to find out who that is. And even though we know many of these pilots, I know a lot of them, I know that Art knows a ton of them, when it gets down and dirty down there and these guys are coming in, and yesterday was a little quicker than normal, but there are some days, and I remember flying in some days where you have 20, 30 of your best friends right next to you, and it's really difficult to pull them out. So we're doing the best we can.
Well, and let me complicate that picture a little bit because, yes, we have 550 primary pilots here. Many of them bring more than one balloon. And so there's really like 650 different balloons out here. And then, like we were just talking about, is that Steve? Is that Selena? Who's flying? Well, because there could be multiple pilots on the balloon.
You could have, I've seen several on here where you have a primary and two secondary pilots.
Right. So we actually have to look at the balloon or who's flying the balloon to be able to pick this out. Yesterday, here comes two identical balloons in. I knew that they were being flown by the Hartzels, but I didn't know whether it was Joe or Rhett or Lucas flying them until they got close enough. And then I said, well, that's not Joe. And you picked it up that it was Rhett.
Right.
And then the next one came in, and I said, that is Joe, because Joe always flies with a ball cap.
Yep.
So those are the little subtleties that we have to use to be able to do this. And in football and basketball, they have their plays. They go up and down the same court or field. We've got these guys coming in,
and you can pretty much see their numbers
schedule.
Or names all the time on their jerseys as they're playing,
right?
Participating.
Yeah. So a lot of help there. So
and to complicate things even more, sometimes we have pilots sell their balloons and not tell us they've sold their balloons. So then we're calling out someone who's not really that pilot, and boy, we hear it.
Well. Let me go and tell this story. Last year, because you actually mentioned it yesterday, right?
Yep.
So we were calling out this balloon called Dixie, and we knew that it belonged to Elisa Talbert. And so we're saying, oh, here comes Elisa, and Dixie. After the show, Zach Maxwell comes up and he says, guys, I bought that balloon, and that was me flying it. Oh, okay. Well, for the rest of the week, we knew that Zach was flying that. Well, the other balloon, there's this, and I talked about it a lot yesterday because I've actually flown it with one of the previous owners, is the racer balloon with the chili peppers around the center. And so it had always been called Hot Stuff. So I'm saying, oh, there's Hot Stuff. And I knew that Jody Browning had owned that balloon recently. So we're saying, we think that's Jody, blah, 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 et cetera. And then the next thing you know, I get an email last night from none other than Elisa Talbert, who says, oh, I bought that balloon from Jody.
You gotta be kidding.
No. So the same pilot stuff that went on. And she says it's Chillin' Pepper now is the name of it. Although since she bought it, she's thinking of changing it back to Hot Stuff. So it'll just be, I'm just gonna keep calling it Hot Stuff when I see it.
There you go.
But now I know it's not Jody, it's Lisa flying it.
All right.
And thanks to Lisa for letting us know.
Thanks for letting us know.
And being positive about it.
Absolutely.
Which also means they're all going back and watching the show afterwards. In fact, I talked with Pat Irwin yesterday. He's going to fly our balloon camera today. I talked with him after the show, and he says, yeah, we went back and watched to see his pass in. So, yeah, a lot of folks watching this back in the replay, and we certainly appreciate that. All of our shows get archived and are available right after the live show for you to be able to go back and watch. And this is year number 9 for Balloon Fiesta Live.
Coming up on a decade.
We are. And I'm figuring that we're going to be really close to 400 hours of live video, uninterrupted. That's the other thing. You watch a 3-hour sporting event. How much of it is really commercials? No commercials here. We may pitch something, but yeah. Mike is asking if we're going to announce the winners of the license plate. I guess I should do that.
Yes, you should. I promised them at the end of the show yesterday, we make sure that we got yesterday's done today.
So, thanks for reminding us, Mike. The winners of the Balloon Fiesta license plate for Monday would be Jim Rosing from Anderson, Indiana, Emily Pauley from Ashland, Ohio, and Stephanie DeCamp from Saint-Jean-sur-Loire in Quebec, Canada.
Oh, congratulations to our Canadian friends and our American friends down south.
Absolutely. So, what else do we give away?
A jacket.
A jacket. So, Monday's jacket winner is Curtis Smith from Vidalia, Louisiana.
All right, Curtis.
Yeah.
Wear this loud and proud down on the bayou once you receive it.
So the idea is that we're giving away 1 jacket a day. We're giving away 3 license plates per session. So it'll have the Balloon Fiesta Live logo on it. We won't put Ted's name on it. In fact, we won't even put your name on it. On the other side, it's got the ExxonMobil Albuquerque National Balloon Fiesta logo. And on the back, it has got the Special Shapes Rodeo logo on it. This is the same jacket that we're wearing on Balloon Fiesta Live, and it's also the same jacket that we give to all of our Special Shape pilots. So it's a very coveted jacket. You can win that and or the license plate by scanning the QR code that's on the screen right now and put in your name and the other information we're looking for, and then you'll be entered to win. Please only enter one time. Once you're in until I take you out because you're a winner. So
here we go.
Here we go. We'll 3 license plates per session, 1 jacket per session. The way things are going, I may have to announce the winners the next day, but we'll get them all caught up. So, and then I'll be contacting all the winners after Balloon Fiesta is over to confirm address and what we're shipping you, sizes if you want a jacket, all that kind of stuff. So, great stuff happening here on Balloon Fiesta Live.
Looks like we're only moments away from Dawn Patrol trying to show the way to all these pilots as they head to pilot briefing that's already gotten underway, and we should be able to get to weather here in a minute, I hope, so we can get the official word of what the weather looks like. There's another shot of the moon, Art.
Oh, yeah. You almost can't tell that we're so zoomed in. It's like, what is that?
Setting majestically on the West Mesa in Albuquerque. Yeah. Look at that. That's fantastic.
I'm going to check on the people are telling me they're buying the pins, so I'm going to go check and see what the.
All right. Ashley Sanchez, good morning to you in Texas. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning from Mexico we have on here. Good morning, Ted and Art.
One of our license plate winners is thanking us for pulling their name.
We have Hope watching in Indianola, Iowa. So good morning to you, Hope. And Mott Thomas from Lake City, South Carolina. So thanks for watching. There they are taking off. Now I know for a fact that that's Matthew Grody, an X-rated jester, and I know for a fact that that's Ron Thornton flying Peanuts Forever in front of him, and I know for a fact that that's Tim Taylor. So we're good. I'm 3 for 3 right there.
Well, there you So that's the other thing that I find, because we do have the app that helps us identify these folks. This is kind of like the basketball game. We've got our 12 or so pilots out here. We know who they are. Kind of the only variable is who's flying Chick-fil-A.
Correct.
That's the only really variable there. So we see these guys every day, same time. So we know them just as you know them, and can make sure that we get that announced correctly. So we haven't sold out of those pins yet, but they are definitely going quickly. So, good morning, Rio Rancho, and good morning, Corrales. Also, Charlotte, North Carolina, Alberta, Canada, Rochester, New York. From the UK, Ty loves our live streams. Thanks, Ty. We love doing them. Yep. Good morning from Kansas, Wausau, Wisconsin, New Mexico, of course, Santa Fe. Let's see. Yeah. Someone was asking because when you place an order on Balloon Fiesta stuff, we send you a free bumper sticker with it. Oh, before we get to that, we've hit the weather section of Pilot's Briefing, so let's make the switch.
Side of the Sandias, and this is causing some weather. Satellite photos show this really well. Out on the eastern plains, we've got upslope clouds. And for those of you that are from this area, you're probably familiar with what's called the gap winds, or the winds that come with these cold fronts through the I-90, I-40 canyon and bring gusty winds into the Albuquerque area, and then can certainly cause weather forecasts to be highly variable. That cold front is basically backed up against the mountains and now has become a stationary boundary. We've got a trough coming through the valley here right now with the cold front up around Santa Fe. That's also basically stalled out a little bit. So we have a very dynamic situation going on. We have this cold front backed up against the mountains. We have canyon winds, and you can probably feel it in the air. There's more moisture. Humidities have gone up significantly. When you add more moisture to the air, it's like adding fuel to the fire. It just makes more weather potentially later on. So what we have are two opposing forces today. We have our drainage wind conditions that we normally get coming down the river valley. As you notice from Dawn Patrol, at the moment, the other opposing force, which is that yellow arrow, which are the canyon winds, are coming in from the east. So we have two different vectors, one coming from the north, one coming from the east-southeast, and they're going to battle it out today. So while Dawn Patrol has gone to the north, by the time we get set up, your wind direction may come in from the north. It may go the other way. There's going to be a tug of war between these two opposing forces, and these opposing forces are coming right into here. Typically what will happen in this situation is Fiesta Field in this part of Albuquerque will miss the canyon winds. They'll be more down towards town, and that's really represented very well this morning in the current observations. Sunport, Albuquerque International Airport, east at 20, gusting to 29. Okay? While Double Eagle, winds are north at 6. Okay? So, hence the career decision choice. All right? But when you have opposing wind directions like this, they will tend to cancel each other out, at least for a while. And so for those of you who have looked at your terminal aerial forecast for this morning, you probably saw, your eyes probably got wide open. And when you look at the TAF for Albuquerque, winds east at 20, gusting to 30 knots. While Double Eagle's TAF is winds north-northeast at 7. So what we have to be very careful with today are these two opposing forces, and will one win out over the other, or will it be a standoff? As it looks at the moment here through the early morning hours, it's a standoff, which means these winds are generally going to stay light and variable. And when we look at the forecasted winds aloft, that's what it's showing. Through the 7 and 9 a.m. hours, winds are generally from the north, closer to the ground, southeast winds above the ground level from the southeast coming on through. One thing that we're noticing as the potential, as the morning wears on, is that southeast wind, that canyon wind above the ground about 1,000 feet, is going to start increasing in speed. Probably around 9 o'clock or so, we could see some teens and 20s up there, 1,000 AGL from the southeast. So that's something to keep an eye on. So this morning, be ready for these opposing vectors to be causing either the winds to be from the southeast or from more of a northerly direction. And the biggest battle is going to be in the lower layers, the first few hundred feet of the atmosphere here through the morning hours. I want to briefly touch on this afternoon. For those of you planning tailgating activities or whatever's going on, we are in a slight risk, a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. In fact, if you look at this map, only western parts of New Mexico has the highest risk of severe weather. It's right on top of us today. And we will have thunderstorms between 3 and 8 p.m., and some of these could be strong. So just keep that in mind here for later this afternoon. Also, a reminder of the radio loop to get current weather conditions. Today's a really good day to be listening in. And we've had some inquiries about how to get the LiDAR. I'm not going to read you a long web address up here. So use the power of the internet and Google ABQ wind profile. And that'll get you to the site where you can get the wind profile information. Use North Fiesta Field. North Fiesta Field is what you want to use for the LiDAR. The LiDAR will be very helpful today to show you that battle that's going on between these two opposing forces. Now it's time for Weather Helper of the Day. We have two. We have Emery Kinzer, and I want to bring up the idea here that I got a note. Emery Kinzer is a fourth-generation balloonist. And her dad, Will and Poppy, and Bill are pilots here in Fiesta. So we've got one coming up the ranks, and we also have Allison McClinton with us to help launch the weather balloon today as well. So, do we have a zebra with a whistle? We are cleared to launch. Thank you. Thank you.
And there's your weather.
Yes, sir.
As we watch the pie ball go out, of course, we've got a whole bunch of other big pie balls up there in the sky.
Yes, we do.
Our
and
dawn patrol.
That actually just mimics exactly what the pie ball reading said about an hour ago that we read, that where they were going to go off the field to the northwest, go high, come back a little southeast. But to Don's point, there's going to be some Mother Naturing going on in about 3 hours here.
Yeah. I love Don's explanation of what's going on. And you might not understand things like troughs, and that's kind of this front, stationary fronts. But the idea that there's two opposing forces here. And so one of them is going to give us winds from one direction. The other is going to give us winds from an opposite direction almost. And so how do they all come together, and how do they play out? So as Don was saying, right now it's going to be a standoff, and we're going to have light and variable winds. At some point this morning, one will win out over the other. And then later this afternoon, where we don't have any flying events this afternoon, so it's a good time for the weather to come through and get out of here so that we can have another mass ascension tomorrow on Flight of the Nations.
Correct. Well, again, that's talking about the micro. Right here, it's nice and calm, and he talked about the canyon wind starting to kick in, and we don't really get affected by that. We will get a little bit of drainage coming down through Santa Fe and the San Diego Cristos into the Rio Grande Valley, but as of right now, it's pretty stable.
And sometimes the winds that do come through the canyons will get all the way out to the west side, and they'll dissipate as they get that far. But sometimes they'll be in effect of that. But what we're looking for is a good morning to fly, but it's not going to be a long morning. You're going to want to get up. You're going to want to get your flight in. You're going to want to get your competition in and be constantly paying attention to those weather signals, the LiDAR, radar that he talked about, the weather loop. That's a continuous broadcast from our meteorologists about the weather that's happening at Balloon Fiesta Park, not necessarily the Albuquerque Airport or the Double Eagle Airport, which is all the way out on the west side of Albuquerque.
Right. When we were talking this morning about, how schools really get involved in Balloon Fiesta and Balloon Fiesta Live.
Yeah.
And how important it is to know your sciences, your mathematics. You just right there, you're looking at him talking about 30 knots, out of the canyon, which is, most people don't know what knots are, but you put it in perspective, it's almost 35 miles an hour. And that's one thing you don't want to be doing in a balloon at ground level. We have several school teachers that are always commenting on both of our feeds. And you talked about Kelly Sasser down in Alabama with her class yesterday, and I guess she's all set up and ready down there today, correct?
All set up there and ready today. And I like to remember one of the very first years of Balloon Fiesta Live. We were down there with our mobile camera, and we're talking to people, and it was a glow night. And so we took our camera up, and this gal says, "I'm Kelly Sasser from Alabama, and I've been watching with my class all week, and I'm glad to be here." Nice. And so that's how we met Kelly. And so, it's always great to renew. We talked yesterday, the family reunions, always good to renew those. And so hi to Miss Sasser's class in Alabama.
Yes. And any other teachers out there that want to create a lesson plan, maybe, going into the back end of the week here, utilize the things that you hear on here. I mean, like Don talked about, go to ABQ Wind Profiler and pick up the North Fiesta Field and throw it up on that those really cool boards. We only had chalkboards when I was a kid. I don't think we could throw anything up there.
Yeah.
We could draw
some. And then
some,
when I went back into
wind.
teaching, we went from chalkboards to whiteboards, which just meant you didn't have all the chalk dust.
Right.
So, but now the tools that are out there to be able to have kids engaged in their learning process. It's just incredible.
Matthew Grody again, an X-rated jester. I'm sure Ruth is on the ground today, right? They had a heck of a flight yesterday.
So, all right, let's see who else we've got here. Been watching since day one. Rooftop Studio, when does the 2026 Balloon Fiesta start? So it always starts the first Saturday of October.
Always the first full week, I tell people.
Yeah. And we used to say the first full weekend, the first week. But if you really look at the deal, it comes down to being, if you really want to be specific, it's the very first Saturday, because that's going to kick off the first full weekend, which then leads into the first full week. So that means for 2026, if you look at your calendar or if you look at the new bumper sticker, next year's Balloon Fiesta is October 3rd through the 11th. So October
and if you want to
3rd.
get a preview, you could come in a day early, and on the 2nd, you could go to Balloons Aloft at any one of the schools and kind of see them fly all over the city. That's the unofficial kickoff.
Hey, Kelly says her students enjoyed the shout-out. You bet, Kelly. Looking forward to seeing you when you get here.
Hey, get some pictures and send them in to us so we can see what you guys are learning there. Bonjour from Genève in Montreal, Quebec. Thank you for watching.
So the winds could be, they could end up getting down to Vista del Norte. We'll have to kind of see what happens. Vista del Norte, a landing site just south of the balloon field today. They're watching in Sarasota, Florida. Visiting Albuquerque now. They fly home tomorrow morning to Ohio. Watching from your friend's backyard. Okay. Hey, on your flight back to Ohio, be sure and tune us in. Get the airplane Wi-Fi. And tune us in, and if we're not live at the time, pick up those archives, and then make sure you share it with the other passengers in the plane. Appreciate that. Thanks for recognizing all the work that we do, Gail Johnson says. Thanks to everybody watching in Wichita, Kansas.
Got some viewers in Livingston, Texas. Good morning to you guys.
And a report of light rain and dense fog on the other side of the mountain. Talking about the Sandia Mountains here, there's a number of towns on the other side. One of them is Edgewood, and there is some weather on the other side of the mountain.
And you wouldn't think, sitting here from our vantage point, that would really be going on, because we're seeing the sun starting to come over, and it's a nice blue morning here in Albuquerque. That's that micro meteorology that we talk about.
I don't even see any clouds out there.
No,
yet.
I didn't see any clouds when I left this morning.
Of course, fog means it's down at the ground, so you wouldn't see the ground in Edgewood. So yeah. But we are getting the Dawn Patrol just kind of hanging around. I thought maybe they were going to get out of here to the northwest, but then they just went up just a little bit more, and now they're just kind of hanging over the field. Yeah, talking about clear skies. There you are. There's our great moon. It's a super moon.
That's the supermoon right there. In fact, when I woke up this morning at 3 a.m., I thought it was like maybe the sun setting. It was so bright and vibrant outside, and you didn't even really need lights.
I know. Always nice when we have that. And it made for some really incredible pictures at Sunday night's Balloon Glow.
It did, indeed.
Coming up tomorrow, just looking ahead a little bit, tomorrow is Wednesday, Mass Ascension Day, Flight of the Nations Day, when we'll feature the 12 countries that are here. Give them an opportunity to fly on, and we'll have our Mass Ascension just like we do on the weekends. Thursday and Friday are special shape days here at Balloon Fiesta. That means we feature the special shapes. All of our balloons still set up and fly. It's a competition day as well, so we have balloons taking off from the field. We have balloons coming into the field, flying into the field. We've got balloons standing up on the field. Those are the special shapes. It's just an incredibly busy day on Thursday and Friday mornings. Add to Friday morning Kids Day, brought to us by Chick-fil-A. And what we see there is a lot of kids out here. Most of them are off of school. And they get all this free stuff out there as well.
Who doesn't like free stuff?
You bet. And then Thursday and Friday night, it is the Glow-Dio. So we will have the ability to set up all of our special shapes and let them glow. Those are always very popular nights to be able to show up here as well. Saturday and Sunday, we're back to Mass Ascensions in the morning. Saturday night, the final glow, our night magic glow.
Well, yesterday when you went to the field, it was kind of like a little preview for what they're going to do tomorrow as far as the competition or the Mass Ascension. And we had a bunch of shapes up there on the northeast side of the field. And I would say, oh, it doesn't look like they're going to fly. They're just going to be out of the competition area. And the minute I said that, they made a liar out of me, and a couple of them decided to fly.
That's always the way it is.
It is. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut from now on.
I swear sometimes that they say,
there's a great shot. Look at that.
Yeah. Woo. They just said we were going to do this. Well, let's do something different to fix that. So
that's Rick Jones right there from Concord, New Hampshire. Hey, we got Nick watching us from Belgium saying good morning to you, Ted and Art.
Good morning. Watching from Sussex, New Brunswick, Canada, balloon pilot. Many young local pilots in their area. That's great to hear, David. So where can you find a list of the pilots? They're on the website at balloonfiesta.com. They're also in the mobile app. On the website, you can use your browser feature to, find on page.
There we go. There's a little bit of the clouds pushing back over the Sandias right there. Now we're seeing it.
Talk about opposing forces. Look at there. 1, 2, 3, 4 flags just hanging, and then there's one flapping, and then there's a whole row of flags that aren't doing anything again.
And those mountains are really holding that pressure back, as Don talked about.
They are.
They're fighting up there around Santa Fe. If we could get a shot from the north to the south to the north, you can kind of see some of that right at the where the mountains come down and around, right below the.
And now there's a little more light. Yes. So
Yeah.
some of the clouds way out to the north.
Ballooning's such a small world. I gotta give a shout out to this guy. I see him several times a year. I'm an avid hockey fan, and I go to the games quite a bit in Pittsburgh. I run into this guy who's a ticket taker. His name's Danny. He actually's flown Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah.
And the only way I met him is I was wearing my Fiesta jacket one day when I was down there, and someone says, "Do you do that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "That guy over there does it." So I met him. Super nice guy. So shout out to Danny. He's my ticket taker at PPG Paints, and I know that he loved flying in Albuquerque. We've traded some great stories together.
There you go. Let's see. So good morning from Glendale, Arizona. Was at the pin trading event on the field Sunday. Met some great folks. Yep, next time you have to plan to stay a little bit longer, man. So did they announce the theme? Marianne, are you late to the party?
She's late.
She's late to the party. She's been one that's been online with us a lot of years. And so, yes, Marianne, we did. You missed it. So you'll just have to come and find out what it is.
No.
Just kidding. The 2026 theme is the scenic route. celebrating the centennial of Route 66. Balloon Fiesta is going to be working with folks to make that happen. In fact, we've already got a centennial Route 66 balloon being flown by the folks at Rainbow Riders for us. So the scenic route, we're moving from painted horizons to the scenic route from 25 to 26.
I like the way they've incorporated the Roadrunner and the southwestern,
Yeah, it's a really
view.
nice,
Scene.
Yep. I think it's a great bumper sticker. Maybe we could throw it up real quick and show folks what that looks like. While we continue to watch Dawn Patrol, we're
There we
about
go.
25 minutes away from the national anthem and the start of our ascension, our balloon of the day, and ascension, and then competition yet this morning, the second morning of competition.
Well, as slow as it is out there, I hope they can get all these people off the field so we can get a competition in.
No kidding. No kidding. They could definitely be hanging around today. Just checking to see. Pilot's briefing should just be wrapping up, and then once pilot briefing is over is when they'll usually send us the target list.
They're a little
or
busy.
the task list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd be able to get those ahead of time so that we could be talking about them at this point, but that's all right.
Here's another
We'll
person.
catch him up.
Another person in Alabama. Ellen. Good morning. War Eagle. Window Rock, Arizona. There's Tam Boyd watching us.
Watching from VIP West RV lot, sitting in our fifth wheel, watching the show outside and inside with you guys.
Love it.
When will the shapes inflate today? When it's their turn, Ty. Some of them fly. I don't know that I saw any shapes actually fly the competition yesterday. So most of them are in that first batch, the ones that are kind of the fun flyers, the Fiesta flyers, the ones that will fly, launch, and fly off the field or just stand up
Look at that shot
on the field.
from our drone.
Oh, there you go.
That's just New Mexico is iconic. I mean, sunrise, balloons,
A lot
Sandia
of
Mountains.
dark ground.
A lot of dark
and
ground.
then you get the concentrated areas of the lights.
And there's one of
Yeah,
our
there's
super
one of our
cameras right there.
Yeah, super lens cameras. Yeah, there's another one. You can actually see the marker light hanging off the balloon there. Because we're flying before sunrise, we have to have lights on. All aircraft do.
Look, I can actually see a banner on that one as well.
Yeah.
Although we know who these people are this morning.
All right, Charles is still watching from Crystal Beach, Margaritaville.
All right.
Although he's not in the hot tub yet this morning.
No. Wow.
All
Maybe
right,
we
Charles.
should have a hot tub put up here on the rooftop studio, and we can do the
what
show
we
from the
need.
hot tub.
Yeah, that's what we need. We're always looking for new and exciting ways to do things.
I don't know how the electronics would work with that, but hey, could be a shocking show.
Our crack Windfire Productions team could figure it out.
Yes, Gary could,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Heck, now that we mentioned it, if he had control of a hot tub, he'd have it up here in an hour.
That's probably true.
I so love working with those guys. It's kind of like some idea comes into my head, and I just kind of randomly toss it out. The next thing you know, it's happening.
Yeah.
So, Gary's on his way with the hot.
They tell us in the truck he's on his way. Great. Good morning,
yeah.
Pierre, South Dakota. Let's see what else we have. La Mesa, Texas. And I said that right. La Mesa, Texas. A lot of people say La Mesa. It's La Mesa, Texas. That's right in between Lubbock and Lubbock and Midland, Odessa. I know that route very well.
From Bristol, Texas, 7-month-old Alexander's waiting to see his great uncle, Andrew, fly with Sky Safari. We'll watch for that too. Maybe we will see Darth today. Maybe we won't. For sure, we'll see Darth on Thursday and Friday. Actually, someone posted to our Facebook page yesterday asking if we could put up a picture of Buttercup and get it on our webpage. And so I said, I'm thinking, well, okay, yeah, I haven't seen Buttercup. So I looked it up. Well, Buttercup is one of a handful of shapes that will only be here on Thursday and Friday. So while we have about 115, I think, special shapes, some of them elect to only participate on shape days, Thursday and Friday. Others will participate all 9 days. So Buttercup is one of those that will be along on Thursday and Friday. And so when Buttercup appears, we'll be sure and get a picture of Buttercup and get that picture on the air for you.
Oh, there was a picture of us on the from the drone.
Yeah.
They're over here somewhere. There they are.
There we go. There's us.
Look at the big shadows we can make.
Yeah, there we are. That's our drone, Gary Williams. A new addition for us this year. Gary has spent 2 years working with the FAA to get the proper approvals to fly a drone here. The area for 4 miles around Balloon Fiesta Park is under a TFR, or temporary flight restriction, issued by the FAA, and no aircraft can fly in that 4-mile area without the express permission of Balloon Fiesta and the FAA.
And
So
that's from the surface to 8,000 feet.
Yeah, so the commercial airliners who are up there at 20 or 30, they can go over, but all the way up to 8,000. You're absolutely right. And so Gary has spent the last couple of years working to be able to do that. Of course, he's a commercial drone operator anyway. And so to be able to make the video connection work from there, appreciate Gary's work to do that, because the shots we have seen, especially during the glows, I mean, all of them, but it really pays off during the glows.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just a wave. And the first Saturday when we didn't launch, we had a static. To be able to see the wave of people.
I mean, we have a great view.
balloons.
We have a great view from down here, but that just brings a whole different dimension to what we're able to see.
Yep. Wyoming, yeah. So someone says, yeah, they want to add hot tubs to the skyboxes.
Oh, that
Now-
may be a good idea.
Yeah. Now the skyboxes is a VIP area here at Balloon Fiesta Park, and so your corporation or you for 20 of your friends can rent a VIP spot, and it's a container. We all have seen those containers and container stores and things like that. So it's a container, but there's stairs to be able to get up on the top. It's been fixed on the inside. There's snacks and all that other great stuff. So, yeah, if you're looking to bring 20 people or so out, investigate the Fiesta skyboxes for next year. There are actually a lot of opportunities for sponsorships and for ways to take care of your customers or your big family reunion or whatever gathering of folks. So check out our webpage. I think everything's pretty much sold out for this year, and we're busy doing things, making this event work. But check it out and make plans for next year, whether it's the Fiesta Skybox, whether it's a group tour, whether you want to hit the Chasers Club or the Gondola Club, maybe do some camping at Camp 505 or escalate it to glamping. We've got a setup of that. And lots of ways that you can get involved in Balloon Fiesta.
You can even sponsor a balloon.
You could. Your banner could be on the balloon. And we would be saying, that's your company name here, Balloon.
Absolutely.
So we're starting to see the Rainbow Riders, which is our ride concession balloons inflate. And also the balloon of the day.
Great,
And I believe today is Coke Day, because that looks like the Coca-Cola balloon.
Indeed.
Yep, balloon of the day, Coca-Cola.
Great shot from our west to east cam, looking at the Sandia Mountains, and the Dawn Patrol still kind of hanging out. But again, they're still basically hanging out based on the weather reports that we've had from early this morning.
So Mark says he thinks he's going to plan a big road trip for next year, taking the Fiesta and drive Route 66 as well. I think that's the whole game plan, Mark. So glad you've figured out the game plan that you ought to come to Balloon Fiesta and celebrate Route 66 at the same time. And Elizabeth, the bumper stickers are now available. Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm assuming that's looking from the north towards the east, towards the Sandias, and you get a little bit of that
Definitely, yeah.
activity.
Okay.
That's the fighting Don was talking about.
Yeah, the two different systems. Yeah, and now that we're getting a little more light, we can see a lot more of the cloud bank up to the north. Yeah, there it is. There's the mountains.
Yeah, that's kind of sneaking around through the canyon and then coming up into the Sandia Mountains.
So the bumper stickers, as I was saying, available now. Available at our should be at our information booths. That's the best place to get them here on the field. You can stop by and pick one of those up. You could run by our physical gift shop at Alameda and Balloon Museum Drive. That's just south of the balloon field.
Well, I'm going to take one right here with me and stick it back on my tractor back home. Starting a collection.
There you go. I like some of the balloon trailers that every year that they've been at Balloon Fiesta, they put a sticker on it.
That's how I had it in mind until I sold it off to my balloon partner, Mr. Michael Gorenflow, and he's kept the tradition going.
So we're starting to see other balloons get set up. Obviously, pilot briefing is over. The idea is that you connect the burners to the propane tanks. You'll do a burner check. Then when you lay it down, you connect the envelope through its cables or lines to the uprights. And then once you put some cold air into the balloon, then heat in the balloon, you stand up and kind of go from there.
And we're going to see quite a few of them here in the next 15, 20 minutes.
There's Gary's drone.
Let's hope he doesn't like try and hook a hot tub of it onto it and get it on top of the studio.
Yeah.
Martha from Chicago said she was here last year and it was amazing. So thanks for continuing to watch us here on Balloon Fiesta Live, the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I'm Ted Maes.
I'm Martin Lloyd Jr.
Yeah.
Hey, people have been sending us pictures as well. In fact, one of the pictures we showed yesterday, folks are watching this morning. So maybe we can take a look at some of the other pictures that have been sent in to us. And you can send your pictures to Balloon Fiesta Live at balloonfiesta.com. That's going to be the Vampirilla team pulling banner 589 off. So that's the other thing we were talking earlier. Okay, so now my head, I'm trying to connect 589 with Vampirilla. But of course, I know Vampirilla, so I could search for Vampirilla.
Well, you actually have all of this information pre-Fiesta, so you're inputting it into your database, and
but there's still the matter of recall.
Yes,
with the size of all of the just the sheer amount of data that we have in our heads, and like we said, and then people keep changing them. They change the name of the balloon, they change the pilot, they have somebody else fly it that day. So Steve Mitchell and the Coca-Cola balloon. So see, the Coca-Cola balloon is one that's flown by different people on different events. So I was in Colorado Springs, and Steve Mitchell was flying a different balloon, but now it's in my head here, Steve Mitchell's flying the Coca-Cola balloon.
It's like being traded from team to team to team at event.
You got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to keep up with it.
There aren't many Mickey Mantles that hang out the whole time anymore with the same balloon, especially.
No. Can we interview the drone pilot? That's scary. That's our...
I just had a great idea, and we'll see maybe tomorrow we can do something.
All right. So Gary is the brains behind all the technology and all the stuff that goes into making this. He's the guy that sets all the cameras up, makes all the connections. We're in communication with the truck. We have 2 wireless cameras, 2 mobile cameras. We've got the drone camera. We've got some cameras that are remotely controlled. We've got a bunch of cameras that we actually have staff on them. That's a great shot.
Oh,
the
yeah.
ExxonMobil tarp is laid out, and they've just stretched the envelope out, Enchanted Horizons, and they were start to pull that out, and then you turn around, look the other way, and there's the Rainbow Riders balloons getting ready to go. So people asking, are they going to go? We're waiting for 7 o'clock because that's when the national anthem is scheduled. That's basically when sunrise is, when we can legally fly. So now is just the time to get ready. But yes, we do have a green flag, and we are planning to be flying this morning. Yeah. Oena Vanderkrat is there. Yes, they were here a few years. They watched on one of those TV stations that one of our people that Diane talked to the other day said, oh, I used to watch the TV stations, but they're all advertising and stuff. I like to watch you guys because it's got lots of great information.
Oh, look at that shot. Wow.
Yeah.
we had just seen out on the field before. That was John Strauss and the Wicked team. He was rigging up his system, getting ready to cold inflate to get out of Fiesta Field so we could get this competition started. But we're going to kind of see how quick they can get him out of here. There's another great shot. I think that's Earl Buzzard, Tom Steinbach, and Tristan McLean right there, all laid out with John Green right back behind it in Intrepid.
Yeah, so at the top of the picture.
See, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, by Sunday, we're going to have them all down. So we'll have to extend Balloon Fiesta so that we can talk about them without having to use the sponsor.
There you go.
Hollering at us from down below. Really great to be able to meet a lot of people out here as well. We're kind of isolated up here on the roof because we're a little bit busy doing some things, but people can see us and talk with us. And then I was saying I was in a fast food place the other day, and people are recognizing us as well. And to me, that's really cool.
See, look at that. That is such a fantastic shot.
Oh, wow.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you can see the heat coming off of that T3 burner in the balloon. Look at that.
Yeah.
And then you can see the heat actually coming from the bottom, and that's Peanuts Forever is which balloon that is. Just fantastic. A little bit of fog and mist forming there. I think that's from our north camera, if I'm not mistaken, looking south.
Yep.
It's easy out here. Where I live back home, let me tell you, there's trees everywhere. I wouldn't know where I was looking. Someone having some fun out on the field. Oh, from the Wicked team.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get that for Gary to wear that while he's doing the drone.
At least they're zipping up as opposed to unzipping, right?
Right.
Oh.
Matt asked, I'm guessing they're not flying towards Rio Rancho. I'm not thinking so, but things could change when the sun comes up. We'll see what happens. Again, it's another one of those kind of strange, I would call them sideways boxes of what we're seeing this morning. We saw that on Sunday morning as well. Instead of the normal box north to south, you're kind of getting the,
east
north,
west.
Yeah, east west, but more like a diagonal line. I don't think there's enough to push them all over the river, but I could be wrong.
Well, again, we got if you missed the pilot briefing this morning and the weather from Don Day, there's a couple of different weather systems, forces as he described them, that are in opposition to each other. And so because they're going to battle it out here, it's going to be that no one wins except the balloons because we get to fly in the light and variable winds. So if one of those were to win out, then we'd see a quick direction one way or the other. But Don didn't expect that to happen for a number of hours. So we should be able to get our flights in. Don, by the way, does weather obviously full time, but he is also one of the ones that balloonists that want to do record-setting flights. He's the one they call.
They pick up the phone and call Don.
Yeah. He's worked on a lot of the high-altitude parachute jumps with balloons, things like that. So Don's the guy you want on your team when you need to know what the weather's really going to do for whatever adventure that you have planned.
And what's great is he actually talks it down so anybody can understand what's going on, not just a pilot up there.
Yeah, he can throw out all those acronyms and all those weather terms, and it's a this and a that and a blah, 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 and then turn right around and say what that means is da-da-da-da-da-da. He lays it out just great.
Absolutely. Well, buenos dias from Poolville, Texas.
Yeah, let's see. Is Alameda open? Should be. Drive right on by. Take a detour. Go into work late.
Right. Here's one from Bristol, England. It says 7-month-old Alexander is waiting to see his great uncle, Mr. Andrew Hawley.
So they're watching on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the shout on both sides. There you go. How many balloons expected to launch today? Everyone that stands up.
Yep.
Well, there'll be some that won't actually launch. Always pilot's discretion. So we can tell them the field's open, the field is closed. We can kind of tell you really can't fly from here. We're closing the field, but it's always up to the pilot to make the decision whether to fly or not. You never know what kind of night they had, what kind of morning, whether the crew all showed up, all kinds of reasons why you might not want to fly in any particular morning. and that is totally up to the pilot in command.
And they could be
or the
tired
PIC.
already. They really could. This
Yeah.
is a pretty grueling event.
It
I
is.
mean, I've done it where you fly all 9 days, and you're pretty much wiped at the very end of this event. So, you know, you got to know what level you could fly at and what your durability is, so to speak.
Oh, here you go. Michelle says she's been watching Balloon Fiesta Live since 2017, the year we started, and she was pregnant that year. They're coming in person this weekend. Her daughter will soon be 8 years old. So, daughter, lifetime Balloon Fiesta Live watcher.
Yeah. Well, come up over here to the rooftop studio and give us a holler. How's that sound?
Yeah, love to see you, Michelle, and your daughter. Let's see, got folks who have retired here from California because of the balloons. Good morning from Sanford, Florida. Torres, Brazil. From Christmas Valley, Oregon.
Here's what you were talking about yesterday as well. It's not totally light out here yet, but look at these shots from
I know.
these cameras.
Yeah,
It's,
I know.
as I look out over the field, it's still a little bit dark.
Yeah, it's still kind of hard for us with our eyes to identify what balloons are out there. So with the camera stuff, and again, that's thanks to Windfire Production. It's Gary Williams, the mastermind behind that. Brian Mick, good morning to you. Crew member, other balloon pilot, used to live here. He abandoned us for Florida, he and his wife, Jamie.
Man.
So good morning, guys. Good to see you. Miss you.
Balloons for beaches. I don't know. That could be a tough one.
Yeah. So.
Audrey says, good morning here from Central PA. So I'm not even going to guess because there's a bunch of places in there, but good morning to you.
Confirmation from our event director that we're all still on schedule today. National Anthem at 7 o'clock with the balloon of the day.
Here's my favorite comment of the day. This is from Jesse Chavez. Wow, we just got mooned.
We've been mooned a lot. So now we're starting to see the inflator fans running on those balloons that were just stretched out. Now we do something called a 3-row rule. So those guys on the very front row can be putting cold air into their balloon. The second row, they can be laid out. The third row should be taking things off the truck.
Rigging stuff up.
Yeah, and starting to do that. And as you kind of look, you see there's a couple that have already laid it out on farther rows. But then you get all the way out to the midfield. That's kind of like the first row all over again. We kind of split the field in half.
And
so
exactly
they're doing
what
the
you're
same
saying,
thing.
they're putting some cold air into these.
Yep. So they're just going to follow that right down. There you go. Let's moon you again.
Yeah, here's another moon. There you go, Jesse.
Good morning, Reno, Nevada. Local crew for Katie Griggs flying her balloons this week. All right. Next year, you're going to be here for sure. And one of these years, I'm going to make it to Reno. I've talked with Katie about doing some announcing up there. Maybe that'll happen one of these years. Would love to do that.
Very fun rally.
And you've got somebody flying through Baltimore today?
Yes, I do. I think he's still sitting in Pittsburgh because his plane got delayed or canceled. So, Drew, have a safe flight out here, and we'll see you up here on the rooftop studio tomorrow, my friend.
And Arlene is watching from Baltimore, which is why I bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Hi from Denver.
Here's a great one. This is Brian Chase. He says, good morning from my classroom in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'll see you all for the Special Shaped Rodeo. Keep an eye out for Billy the Kid. And if you're on the field, come and see me at T3 for balloon cards.
All right. Billy the Kid, one of the Special Shapes on Thursday and Friday.
Well, Billy, we're kind of trapped up here. So when you're done flying, come over here and see us. How's that sound?
Well, maybe we can send Diane there. She'll be
Oh,
back
yeah, we
with us.
could send. Yeah, we could.
gave her yesterday and today off so that she'll be back with us tomorrow.
Wait a minute. People get days off around here.
Some people do. You and I don't. When I built the schedule, it's kind of like, and I count up who's doing what, how number of schedules, and of course it says Art 14, Ted 14. Everybody else has got, 7, 8, 9. So, no, you don't get a day off.
Nor would
But
I want one. Nor would I want one.
Great. I'm going to give you the afternoon off.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
And you
it.
had yesterday afternoon off too. But don't get used to it because come Thursday it's 2-a-days.
Yes.
So, Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. It's not Phil, but from Puxatawny. They're checking in.
Better go wake Phil up.
They did.
Pat loves the 2026 bumper sticker. Awesome, Pat. We do too. Minneapolis, Minnesota checking in.
And ladies and gentlemen, here is our national anthem performed this morning by Susan Tipton.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning.
Susan Tipton with the national anthem, so it's balloon on.
Burners on, inflators on, full speed ahead.
There we go. I don't know about that speed portion. I just looked at the pieball reading again, so it's not going to be that speedy yet, but it'll be a lot of fun out there.
Full speed can still be 2 miles an hour.
There you go. Full speed for a balloon.
That's it. All rise. Steve Mitchell has the Coca-Cola balloon in the air on Coca-Cola Day here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And that is the signal for all the balloons in the first wave and in the first row, which is also the middle row, to be able to stand up, get a launch director, and get airborne. And look who's following them up.
Here we go, Lobos.
The University of New Mexico Lobo balloon.
Cherry on top.
So we are underway. A balloon ascension. We always struggle with what to call the flight this morning because we call them mass ascensions when we put all 500 balloons up. Mass ascension. We're only going to put 300 up from the field.
I always refer to it as the mini mass ascension,
Yeah.
but again, you know, it's mini to us, but huge to others. Look at that. Speaking
Yeah.
of huge,
There you go.
pretty large basket. That's about the size of an old Volkswagen, to be honest with you, to put it in perspective. That's being lifted into the air.
The VW buses.
You know, back in the day, they had those pictures of people trying to cram themselves into
How many
Volkswagen.
can I get in a bus?
We get about 14, 15 people in there.
Beautiful world, Al Nels. Sid Cutter, when he got started with all of this, formed a company called World Balloon Corporation and used the World Balloon as his logo, and he built many, many of those. For our 50th, 3 years ago, Jewel Cutter had the beautiful World Balloon built, and when you get a chance to see that up close and personal, you'll see lots of little flags and stars on the world representing places that were special to Jewel and Sid.
Whether they lived or flew or had events.
Or they have a great story to go along with
yes,
that.
absolutely. There are tons of great stories.
After yesterday's show at Flight, got to spend a good half hour or so with Jewel. She came and sat with us as we kind of had our little snack after the show. Always great to catch up with her and just what a great lady. Of course, Sid was a great guy too. We were swapping Sid stories last night.
Well, I think one of my
afternoon.
most favorite Sid stories that I have is that when my youngest son Tyler was probably 5 or 6 years old, Sid invited us into the Chase Commander to have a soda.
Yeah.
And he was in there with the dogs, and I said, "Hey, who's this guy?" And he just looked at him and he goes, "That's just Sid." This
Just
was
Sid.
My kid, he's 5, 6 years old, just thought Sid was just Sid. And he goes, "You're right, son, you're right." And it was just it was kind of a surreal moment, to be honest with you.
Oh no, Champagne Sunrise had to leave early and has gone back to Mississippi. Sorry you had to leave early.
Now, first we had the New Mexico balloon. Now we have the New Mexico State balloon. And I believe this year in the football series, New Mexico beat New Mexico State. So I think they have points, and they call it the Rio Grande rivalry. So they'll do that in basketball and all sorts of sports. There's a happy camper pilot.
Heidi from Rio Rancho is watching from Japan this morning or afternoon on her side of the world. Actually,
Probably almost
Japan.
tomorrow. Is that right?
Japan's the other way, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Maybe she can tell us.
Whether
I'm
it's
sure
funny
she
or-
will. It's hard enough to wrangle these 650 balloons rather than time zones.
Which is why I started advertising the New Mexico time, the mountain time of 6 a.m., 6 p.m. But I started putting the 0000 or the 1200 UTC time. I figure you can, because in the U.S. it's always like this time Eastern or this time Central. They never talk about the mountain time, but we can all pretty much relate to UTC, Zulu, Greenwich Mean Time. So that's why we always kind of throw those times out there for you as well, for those of you in different time zones. Heidi says it's 10 p.m. in Japan.
Thank you, Heidi. So here we just noticed before this pilot, he's giving instruction to who's going to operate the fan for his inflation. But prior to that, they were all standing around, and he was, taking a look at the weather, seeing, what the conditions were. And, a lot of pilots will do that. Some will decide when they look around, especially some local ones that fly here quite a bit, today may not be that day that they want to fly. But it appears that this pilot has made his decision, and he's getting ready to prep his crew to cold inflate so he can get out of here on this Maes Ascension before we start day 2 of competition at the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Maes Ascensions are always Saturday, Sunday, and the midweek Maes Ascension on Wednesday. But as Ted likes to call the mini Maes Ascension, is every other day of the week.
Right.
So every day.
It's like a Maes Ascension sandwich, right?
Yeah. A triple decker.
There you go.
Because you got bread on either end, and in the middle, Maes Ascensions on either end in the middle. Yeah.
There's Earl Buzzard. Earl's been flying for
right over the top of Cool Beans, Barney Watson.
Yeah.
Looks like they were close. Pinnacle Propane, the official provider of propane for our balloons here again this year.
Earl's family is going to be a 3rd-generation ballooning family. He started with his uncle, and then it was Earl, and now his youngest son, Ryan, is studying to get his pilot certificate. And I've been out a couple times and done some instruction with him, and he's very, very close. So very cool that he will continue the tradition in that ballooning family.
There's Chris McCord's Glow with the Flow.
What if he's wearing a tutu this morning?
I don't know. I think that was him who just walked up in the camera there to make sure that they were holding the lines open, because that's the job of the people on that end of the balloon, to hold it open so that the fan can blow the air inside. And then, of course, once you get some air in, then it almost pulls itself open.
And being a great ambassador of ballooning, look at him what he's doing. He's letting us go inside the balloon with our camera during the cold inflation. A lot of times pilots will walk in and make sure their riggings are okay, that their turning vents are okay. They may have a knot. They may not have a knot. That's something you just don't see every day.
Nope. A lot of people don't want you walking on the inside of the balloon. In fact, a lot of times when I did it, it was like, I'm going to take my shoes off. Because you never know. It's not so much about necessarily what's on your shoes, but what's on the other side
of the envelope, correct?
Yeah.
There's the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon, flown and operated by Rainbow Riders. here locally in Albuquerque.
And one of the Sundance balloons is one of those that operates in Canada, a ride business up there. They come down and help us out and help Rainbow Riders out to be able to provide 350 balloon rides a day out of Balloon Fiesta Field.
That particular one right there is Philippe Waters, and yeah, he's been flying commercially for 8 years, and this is his third Fiesta. And if you see how this is panning out here, Art, we're getting very similar to Sunday.
Yeah.
Earl took off and kind of went west. He went high, and now he's coming back east. And all these ride balloons are just kind of hanging.
Yep. Yeah, very slight drift to the west, right at the deck. You don't have to be but 100 feet up, and you kind of stop. A couple more 100 feet up, you drift. Even that's, it's kind of like drift is probably too strong a word, that you move off to the east. Oh, we're up there.
Good morning.
Someone
Teresa
asking about the Stork balloon out of commission. Actually, they rebuilt the Stork balloon a few years ago. Dr. Steve Comodina, who is actually still on the board of directors for Balloon Fiesta, he doesn't fly anymore, but his son Mark does. And we usually see the Stork balloon on Thursday and Friday. The rest of the week, Mark tends to fly his Never Forget balloon.
Let's just hope he doesn't forget how to fly it.
I actually got to fly the original Stork balloon
Did
as
you?
a student pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in 1989. And yes, Sid's World Balloon Corporation that I was talking about, formed to provide some balloon rides and put the Balloon Fiesta on, became the World Balloon Company when they started adding flight training and all that other stuff. And then when Sid passed on and they got, actually before he even got to that point, he sold the company off and the flight school went one way and World Balloon Ride Operations went another way.
Yep.
So the company has split into multiple companies owned by different people these days.
It looks like Tristan McLean is getting ready to
He's got his
lock eyes
passengers
with
in.
his zebra, and he'll...
Well, I just saw the zebra coming this way. She has her cowboy hat on too. The zebra, you can't wait. I don't see her. She's kind of all the way up at this end because remember they walk out far enough.
Yep. And he's ready to go, and he's very buoyant. So
Yep.
his crew, he's got a great crew. Look at all those guys
Some
and
great
gals.
some great pictures from Tristan's mom yesterday.
Oh, really?
That we'll get on the air at some point.
There's Tristan's dad right there, wandering right in front of the camera.
And there he goes. The tip of the hat to the crowd. We'll see if he remembers to tip the hat to the camera. They're waving at us. And you can watch, notice Tristan. Head on a swivel. Left,
Yep.
right, left, right, up, looking all around.
Well, he's pulling one of those turning vents.
Turning
he was
vents.
pulling the black one, so he's turning to the left.
And that stick coming out from the top of the uprights there, he's going to have a camera mounted on that.
Oh, of course he will.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great shot right there of the ExxonMobil Enchanted Horizons balloon with
the moon.
just getting
Yeah.
ready to set. Kind of messes with your brain when you think about sunset and moonset, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Arabelle
And having sunrise with moonset, but then we had moonrise with
the
sunset.
sunset.
Yeah. So there's your indicator. It's
Yep.
going to be a good day
Yep.
when Arabelle's inflating.
And then we have to remember all these 650 balloons.
Yeah. And what time is it where?
Yes. There's Al Nels spinning the world.
Jewel says, thanks for streaming this. She has never seen this event. Jewel, we are absolutely thrilled that you have found us.
Here we go. This is what we were talking about before.
Oh, all the bumper stickers.
Look at that. It's 1987. That's the year I graduated high school.
Yeah. Let's see. I was in my third job by 87. Talking
That
about
sticker,
dating.
that sticker kind of looks like how I feel some days.
Yeah. So Jewel was asking, can we explain the competition? Jewel, as soon as we know what the actual task is, competition in general means go find a launch site somewhere and then fly to that target, which will be here on the field. That's competition in general, but then there are very specific pieces of competition that you want to go ahead and drop the marker on a particular target or in a certain area. And once we know what the actual task is, in fact, I'm just checking here. Henry Rosenbaum, our balloon meister, has just sent it to me. So let me call it up. What are we doing today? We are doing task 3 is a hesitation waltz. That means there's going to be, in the case of today, 3 targets, 3 X's out on the field, and you can pick and throw a marker on any one of those 3. That's task 3 because we did 2 yesterday. Task 4 is a maximum double drop. And so we're going to set up 2 sets of 2 triangles and with an X between each of the sets. The X is the measuring point, and we're going to measure baggies inside the triangles, and the farthest away is going to win. So they're going to go to the far tips of the triangle. So you want to hit that very first tip of the triangle, fly over the X, and then drop it on the tip of the other triangle.
So the furthest apart from one another.
Furthest
you don't
apart.
want to be on the middle where it's fat next to the X's.
Right.
You want to be on the tips and the ends.
Right. And there's 2 lines of those so that you can come down left or right, but you have to hit the markers in the triangles that match. So on the map, we have them red and blue. They're just going to be the same colors out there on the field. But, yep. So, and as of right now, they are planning on closing the target at 9 o'clock.
And that was because of the weather that Dawn
That we're
Day was
expecting to come
yes,
through.
yes.
Yeah. All right. So competition day 2, hesitation waltz, any marker except orange or red, and orange. Okay. Orange markers on the maximum double drops. Okay.
Oh, I guess they're watching us on the Odyssey cruise ship right now.
Wow. That's cool.
Are they leaving from the Philippines, did you say? Oh, heading
Headed
towards the Philippines.
All right.
There's one more thing. Now we got cruise ships involved in this.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Someone's acupuncturist has been on Chase Cruise for the past 23 years. It's incredible the number of people that are connected with ballooning in some way, and even more so, they schedule their vacations for this week. Yeah, well, you too. Yeah.
I have for many years.
I always tried to incorporate my work into this so that I could get paid to come out here.
Worked
and do
pretty
this.
good for you.
It did for a while.
Yeah.
It did for a while. There was a couple of jobs that I couldn't make it out here.
Yeah, growing up, the kids were like, okay, we could do Disneyland in the summertime, and it's just Fiesta in the wintertime. Good morning to you, Teresa, from Dunedin, Florida. Again, I'm kind of a sports nut. That's the spring training city of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are facing the New York Yankees tonight. Earl and I are adversaries on that standpoint. So,
someone is asking about the segment about those Fiesta lost. We did lose our original field reporter, Ruth Lind.
We haven't lost Diane yet.
Haven't lost Diane yet.
Sorry, Diane.
She's just got a day off. Ruth Lind,
Yes.
longtime reporter for us. We did lose her a month ago, and we did air a memorial segment about her on Sunday morning. So if you went back to this past Sunday, you could watch that video back. It's about 50 minutes into the show. So thanks for asking.
And again, we're this awkward box, I guess is what I'll call it, is beginning to set up again, because now we're looking at Tristan McLean. Oh, there's a great shot, and where's my camera? In my pocket. We just
That's
had a
not a
commercial
good play.
airliner, and can you imagine the view those people saw as they took off?
Well, at least the pilot did.
Well,
'Cause he was
see
straight
how,
up
see
in-
how he's turning to the side.
He's going
though.
to turn. He's going to turn. They're going to get the view, yeah. But at the moment, those in the back seats had to, they probably weren't going to be able to look down enough.
Right. You know, being such an aviation nerd, I actually have a little app on here that tells me exactly who that was. There it is. That's a Delta plane. Look right here.
Yeah.
And that is going from Albuquerque to Atlanta.
That's the wrong way for Balloon Fiesta.
Right. Cat Patton.
Yeah.
You hear that? Cat Patton, a longtime volunteer, did not make it out here this year, but her husband Dale is on the safety team. He's out there roaming the field, I'm sure, on his scooter. And Cat told me, hey, you have all of my support in giving him the hardest time while he's in Albuquerque. So we are doing that right now, live on Balloon Fiesta Live, the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I am Ted Maes.
I'm Art Lloyd Jr., and thank you for being with us. By the way, now would be a great time to make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I checked it out the other day, and so we're just about 100 people shy of hitting that 10,000 mark on YouTube. So I need 100 of you. In fact, there are already 300 of you watching on just YouTube alone right now. So I need 100 of you to go over and subscribe to the Balloon Fiesta channel on YouTube. We want to kick it over 10,000. Thanks for doing that.
How many do you have on YouTube over there?
I've got 300 and some.
All right, Facebook, you guys are slacking off a little bit. We're only at 280, so let's get on there, please.
Of course, we've been in the 15, 16,000 range on our previous shows, but we understand it's a work day for many people. Although I have lots of pictures of you sneaking the watching of Balloon Fiesta Live while you're working. Appreciate that. It's great pictures. And I won't tell your boss.
We will not. We got Susie here in Hurricane, Utah, which is right near Zion National Park. So
Jerry Graff and his balloon Lofty on the screen. As that turns, we'll see the compass roads on the side. There's another shot of the University of New Mexico balloon.
cherry on top.
And as I looked down the field, we saw Vampirilla getting ready to inflate. He is now in the air. Right there. What a face. Only a mother could love.
Exactly.
So if you have just joined us, this is our mini mass ascension, if you will. We're going to launch about 300 balloons out of the field. And then the other 250 balloons have already left the field to go find a launch site to attempt to fly back into the field with our competition.
There's a little cloud hopper, one of several that are here this year.
Hello, Clearwater, Florida.
That right there is Mr. Jaybird Mason, and he's got to be in the 49th or 50th Balloon Fiesta. He's been around a long time. He actually worked for Sid Cutter at World Balloon back in the day. Yeah, he did.
He did.
And his wife Regina worked for me. Now, how crazy is that?
Whoa. Yeah. When I was first getting started in ballooning, Jay was flying. Always good to see him.
His balloon
Oh.
is flame on.
We have you streaming live, but we have to be muted at our work on 6 TVs. That's where you need the AirPods, you know. Yeah, they'll think you're on a telephone call.
There's Jaybird. And we have Bill Lee in Truly, New Mexico with the Dos Equis balloon. The Wicked balloon's right behind it over there on the right-hand side. And Bob Romanowski in Arizona Superstar. And Chain Gang. I can't think of the pilot's name because I'm thinking of everybody at the same time now.
Yeah. That used to be
Tom.
That used to be the Wrights.
Right. Thom Wright, I think. Or it could be Tommy.
I think it's Tommy.
Yep.
Kind of like the McConnells. They all have the same name. and they abbreviate it in the separate it out, differentiate it by
Another mooning right here, but this time from a pig.
Yeah, they separate it out, differentiate it by how they spell the name. So,
Doug Gant and When Pigs Fly.
hey, you want a special shape?
It's for sale.
It's for sale.
Absolutely.
It's for sale. So, seen a couple of hopper balloons. You can tell those because there's no basket.
Right.
Just kind of sitting in a little web chair with the burner on the back. Reach over your head for the burner.
We saw at the end of the competition day yesterday, Michael Glenn riding in on the Chariot. He was a little late to the party, but he made it to the field.
He made it.
He had a nice big runway out here and lots of people to help him out.
And in the background, there's that Glow with the Flow. We saw, that's the one we were inside a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Chris McCord.
Chris McCord and his lovely wife, Kira.
Take a second, look over there.
Oh.
We were ready for our close-up.
I had a pilot on here say that they've done that with their balloon trailer with all the stickers over all the years, the bumper stickers, but they fade after a few. Well, that just shows you how long you've been coming out to Fiesta and how what's the best way to put it? The experience you may have in ballooning.
We just got another pieball reading. Again, that's if you were with us earlier, you heard Don Day, our chief meteorologist here, talk about what the weather is and that we needed to watch it closely today. There are two weather systems that are competing, and one would send the wind one way, the other would send it the other way, which means they're going to cancel each other out right now. But we're watching to see if all of a sudden one were to start to win that battle. Speeds all still look great. Directions, nothing horrible in there.
Just some good wind to get you some places you need to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of fun sometimes when it's really light and variable, but with this many balloons, you want to have at least something in the 3 to 5 to 6s to get you kind of away from your best friends. Not that you don't like them.
Because we want them to clear the field, because we can't launch up into other balloons. So we need them to go high and get a direction away. That way we can keep getting balloons off the ground. If you hang at 100 feet off the field, then you're blocking the airspace from those launching from below. Here we're looking at the balloons through one of our new Balloon Fiesta Live flags. There's the two preventive pest control balloons. The special shape Itsy Bitsy just going off the screen, and the new one Arachnid. Brian Victor flies the Itsy Bitsy, and Don Boyer is flying Arachnid.
There's Tiger with the
with Wicked.
Doug Gant.
They were kind of walking him around some balloons, because here's what, again, normally we launch from the south because the winds are coming north to south. But now with that direction going to the west right on the field,
they flipped it over.
We got to go to the west side of the field. So that's the downwind side. So they walked Doug and Hamlet kind of around a couple of balloons to get to an opening space where they can safely let him launch. These are the days the launch directors really earn their stripes.
Yes, they do. Here's Tony Polito and the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network balloon getting ready to launch. Speaking of airspace, that plane that flew over a little while ago we caught.
Yeah.
All these balloons are hanging around here, right?
Yeah.
He's already over Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Good morning, Baltimore. Another one from watching from Baltimore.
Nice. Greg Ashton just posted. He says, Monty the Black Sheep is on his way.
All right.
All right, Greg. Safe travels. We have Alexander from Brazil watching. And he responds with a Globitos at the end of his.
How much time did we just spend about pilots switching things?
Uh-oh.
Okay. And I just said Brian Victor's flying Itsy Bitsy, the shape, and Don is flying the other one. So now I hear from Don's grandson that they've switched today.
Oh, of course they did.
Thanks, Cameron. I appreciate that. Hey, Tim Baggett, where the heck are you, man? I'm missing you. Thanks for checking in, Tim. Yeah. How do you land hoppers, someone wants to know. Just
Very
like
carefully.
Yep, but just the same way. You let the air out, you come down, you settle it all off. Most of the time, you'll turn around backwards so that you kind of lay down on that tank.
And all those hoppers do have turning vents which allow you to do so.
Or if it's really calm, you just come down and, you kind of stretch your feet out in front, put your bottom on the ground.
Yep.
So it's depending on what kind of wind conditions you have as you get to your landing spot.
See the sun just starting to crest the mountain, and some of the balloons that are up to the east side of the field are. Look at that spectacular view from our vantage point.
Yeah.
We can't really see it yet on the camera. There's Arabelle. Again, it's a
And
great day in Albuquerque when
Arabelle
Arabelle's in the
flies.
air. Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Tim Baggett's in his office in Austin. He's usually here. He's always done a lot of great work with us with Balloon Fiesta, balloon maps, etc. He's in important meetings with Europe. Well, I'm glad you're still checking in, Tim. Miss seeing you.
We have Lane watching us all the way from Rolling Hills, Alberta. Fort Lauderdale's in the house. Elephant Butte, New Mexico's in the house.
Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Aurora, Colorado.
Elk Rapids, Michigan. Christopher, good morning. Starts his day off every day this time of year with Balloon Fiesta Live. Oh, I love this one. Jen, another one from High River, Alberta, Canada, and she ends it with an A and a Canadian flag. So good morning, A. I have a lot of really great friends up in Ontario.
Look at the face on Arabelle. That's a great shot. So cute.
Looks like she's from our vantage point from the rooftop studio, we have a little different view. It looks like she's like trampling over the tops of balloons.
Yeah. Remember the first Arabelle actually had a crescent moon that would hang underneath the basket.
Cow jumping over the moon.
That's exactly.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Arabelle Canadian? Or at one time was? The pilot.
The pilot is. Dale Ritchie. And the Mexico True now standing up. Bill Lee right behind it. The Farmers Market balloon or the Farmers Insurance balloon. Rod Baca, cruise control he calls that balloon.
And Frankie Martinez in the Rax balloon right behind him. You can just kind of see him,
That's one of those because we know the balloon well enough. We can make it out. The Leon, Mexico, they have a balloon rally down there. A lot of our pilots go down there. Their balloon off on the left side of the screen.
Now the sun's really starting to hit him.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing. We can kind of watch it come from across the west as it kind of grows, and then it's like all of a sudden it jumps to include the entire field. And now's when the pictures get really good.
Yes, they do.
And it's also when we need to start paying a little more attention to what's happening to the weather, because now that the sun is heating the ground, that was going to help mix that air, the warm and the cold air, mix a little bit more. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Duke City Ready Mix, one of the shapes that flies year-round here in Albuquerque. Chris Braden putting the heat in there. And here you go, Ted. Here's this balloon we've been talking about with the murals, 2 different murals on either side.
Yes, that balloon's name is Horizon, and it's being flown by Mark and Melissa, or Missy Meyer. It's got 2 logos, and it really represents their family and in ballooning.
So we're seeing the animal side.
Yeah, the animal side depicts their entire family. So the mama bear that's on there is Missy, the wife and the crew chief. The panda is Amanda, their oldest daughter. The lion of the family is Morgan, that's another daughter. Kevin and Isabel, granddaughters, and Teddy, the grandson. There's a baby bear is Madison, their other daughter, and the wolf is Max, their son. And the eagle is Mark flying overhead. That's really
cool.
Really cool thing.
And this is Pirata João Padula from Brazil flying that one. One of the
Kind of partial to that where I'm from.
Yeah. One of about 7 or 8 new special shapes just from Brazil.
Raise the Jolly Roger.
It's actually getting warm up here on the stage this
I didn't
morning.
don my jacket today.
I think I'm about ready to shed mine.
Another great shot of Arabelle from the ground.
I love how the eyes. So they're just kind of looking right. Looks like she's just looking, giving us the side eye, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right down into the
Great.
camera.
You know, Mark also is bringing to the special shapes. He purchased that BW Bug, the bus. So that'll be interesting and fun to see. It seems like a really fun balloon.
And we talked about the Globitos event last night, the Globitos Glow in the Village, and we talked about the theme, the scenic route for 2026, all to celebrate the centennial of Route 66, and there is the balloon that's going to help us do it. With the big white and the green Zia on the side. If you could read the other, it talks about Route 66 and the centennial.
Now the question is, a year from now when that balloon is flying in the scenic route,
Yeah.
is that going to be white on the equator or is it going to be enchanted? That's what a lot of balloonists around the New Mexico, Albuquerque area say when they buy a new balloon and they go out and they fly it in the mesa. It's not dirt on there. That's just total enchantment.
Being in the desert, we have a lot of wide open spaces, and it is desert. The amount of vegetation is out there. It might be tumbleweeds or sagebrush or choyas or other cactus, etc. So most of the time when we fly balloons around Albuquerque, we take off and land in the dirt.
Yes.
So that light colors, especially the white, gets a whole lot of enchantment on it.
Now I'm trying to see who's flying today.
Well, we're going to zoom in and find out. Silver lining, Fred or Lachelle.
And it's definitely Lachelle.
That's
She's
gotta
there
be
on the
Lachelle.
left.
Yeah,
That's
on the
not
left.
Fred in there.
Nope.
Hallelujah, she actually got off the field this year. We've given her a hard time. Lifelong friend.
Jonathan Wolf and his fractal balloon. Infinitude.
And look, the cow is stomping on the
Infinite
hammerhead
gratitude.
with the capybara below.
Looks like in the very lower left, almost kind of behind that other. Oh, with even a better shot. Now we can see it's still in the lower left, but there's Splash Duck.
Quack, quack,
Quack, quack.
And if it was a French duck, it would say le quack. Kind of use that in my pilot post-flight ceremony. They're all a little bit different. We'll talk about it later in the week, and we actually end our show with the balloonist prayer. So hopefully throughout the week we could maybe do a little segment on how these balloonists end their post-flight with a brand new passenger.
We've got ooh, spiders. I'm not so sure about that. And then you've got the ooh, I love the spiders. Got both sides of the argument on preventive pest control spiders. Yeah, and then someone says that they do a lot of enchanted hiking. So they understand exactly what we're talking about.
Right, right.
You know, the very first year we were on this field, it was basically dirt, and then we had a little bit, not even half, about a third of the grass. And all the fields before this one have all been dirt. So,
well, again, you know, utilizing that drone, that great shot that Gary gets, there's an iconic placemat photograph out there, and that's back at Sims Field, and it was all dirt.
All before drones.
Speaking of another change that we had,
or the Ricky Bobby balloon.
The Ricky Bobby balloon, who was owned by William Wadsworth.
Still is.
Yep.
Mike Voorhees balloon, Psychonic, actually did not fail its annual inspection. Because they're aircraft, they have to be inspected every 100 hours of flight, or every hour, every year, which comes first. Mike's balloon didn't pass annual, so he got in contact with William Wadsworth and said, hey, can I fly Ricky Bobby?
I really need a balloon for Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah, so he has leased the balloon from Will Wadsworth. Will is flying one of his other balloons here this year. So thanks for the cooperation there. And actually, that happens a lot. These balloons that come from Brazil, a lot of times they're flying a basket that lives here in Albuquerque year-round.
I mean, Peter George, he lives in the UK, and I can remember, he'll reach out and say, hey, I have friends that are coming, and we need tanks, or we need a bottom end, or we need this. And, this community, this family is very amenable, and they're here to help everybody, especially at the largest event in the world. And I think it's really cool. There's Tall Steve. I can't see Tall Steve from where we're at.
Which is why we have 10 cameras to be able to bring
go.
you everything. You can see it all here on Balloon Fiesta Live.
Chris Braden and Sir Mix-a-Lot, Bess Rice-Smith and Smokey Bear down there. And now we can confirm that that's Frankie Martinez and the Rax balloon down there. I can definitely see him. And again, Mike Voorhees going out of the side there, and Ricky Bobby.
And Mike was really good about letting me know, hey,
Yes.
hey, my balloon.
It was very
did pass.
helpful, yes.
Yeah, my balloon did pass. I'm gonna get Ricky Bobby from Will, so that was really nice. Hey, they're putting the one of the alien.
Yeah, he was
balloons
up yesterday.
Here. Was he up yesterday?
Yeah, he
I
was.
missed him.
Kind of a little bit. Well, you were down on the field.
I was on the field, and I was on the way.
He was one of the ones that did not launch, so he did not make a liar of me. But the ones on the northeast side of the field, about half of them did.
Which is where we'll set all of the special shapes up on Thursday and Friday. Many of them plan to do a static display for us.
There's Splash.
Yeah, great shot of Splash. And that hat, I'm guessing,
Zorro.
is the Zorro. Yeah, Z-Boy, but it's really Zorro.
There's Anthony Polito flying the Rio Grande Down Syndrome Network balloon. Here's another individual who actually used to work for Sid Cutter and World Balloon. There's a pretty famous poster that I see around quite a bit, and a lot of these photographs that you guys sent up to us, that Tony's actually flying one of the, I think it was Perfect World. Another great drone shot right there. That's what it feels like if you're up there flying.
Yeah. Oh, I see that, because it was the other end. It's our other drone.
Yeah, look at that shot.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And then a photo bomber.
Yes,
Rod.
He eclipsed the capybara. Not for long, though.
No. It's kind of fun after all the years. You get to know the pilots and talk to them, because they all go back and watch us as well. Which is the thing. I mean, while we provide great coverage here, we still encourage you to come on out to Balloon Fiesta and get the full experience of being up close, feeling that burner heat and pressure, that kind of stuff. You can always go back and watch the show or stream it while you're out here on the field. Master Yoda is in the air on the far end of the field, as is the Hammerhead Shark. And Frankie's taking Rock's balloon off and spinning it from our view, trying to get in the shot. I've been meaning to figure out who that balloon is.
Which one is that?
The gray one?
Oh, yeah.
The multiple shades of gray.
Now, that would be funny if it was called the 50 Shades of Gray. 456 is the banner number. They helped you out.
Oh.
That is Snowflake.
Okay.
Rob Foxberg from Black Creek, Wisconsin.
Or is it Andy?
Who's from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin.
Did I see that Andy was the Cameron pilot of the day? They do a drawing
Yes,
for pilots.
yes.
And
It may have been, yes.
I think it was Andy that was that person yesterday.
Master
Or the
Yoda.
day before. There's the aliens. Shape and regular.
They're clearing them off a lot faster today than yesterday. So we can set up for our competition. Do you want to go over again with our viewers what the competition is that we're going to be doing today?
Sure.
Because I didn't get the memo on my phone, so.
Well, we'll have to fix that. Henry just likes to send it to the executive producer.
Oh, I see.
So we've got 2 tasks again today, tasks 3 and 4. Task 3 is a hesitation waltz. That's where we set up multiple X's and a pilot can throw one baggie on any X. So they're all scored, so no matter which X you score on, then we're going to combine all those measurements, and that's how that will work. Pick an X, throw a marker, any color other than orange on those X's. The reason you don't want to throw an orange one there is because you need to throw your orange one on the maximum double drop task. What we do there is we take 2 triangles, lay them out on the field, and they're pointing away from each other. In the center of the big flat wide spot of those triangles is an X. That's the measuring point. We're going to measure from that measuring point to your baggie, but your baggie has to be inside the triangle. And the best distance is the greatest distance.
So it's not the shortest to the middle of the
Not
X,
the
it's
short.
the furthest. So if I were to drop on the north triangle, the very tip, and then the south triangle on the very tip, then I'd be the winner. Or
That's
at least
right.
I'd be in the lead.
Right.
Okay.
So that one's a maximum. However you get them the farthest apart, but they have to be in the triangle. If one of them falls outside the triangle, then you don't have a score.
Gotcha.
So, and then, of course, the closest to the X on the hesitation waltz. And we had a number of pilots throw the wrong color baggie on the wrong
we
target
did.
yesterday. So I need to go back and look and see what some of those did on their scores and whether they kind of penalized them or if they just got the measurement to the wrong measuring point, because that would certainly happen that way as well. So that's the 2 tasks today, a maximum double drop and a hesitation waltz. Ted's going to be heading down there shortly to get in the middle of all the action with our remote cameras, and I'll call it from up here on the roof. Before you leave, I'm going to take care of a little business, and then we'll get you out of here.
Absolutely, not a problem. There they are prepping the field for competition, getting the spectators from the west side over to the east. There's the triplets of aliens with the mini T-Rex, Smokey Bear, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Hammerhead up on the left-hand side. As we said, when Arabelle flies, it's a good day in Albuquerque, and it is a great day in Albuquerque. You are watching the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the 53rd edition. I am Ted Maes with my broadcast partner, Art Lloyd Jr. Momentarily, I will be headed down to the field, be bringing you some competition live down in the field. Art will be calling from up here at the rooftop studio. We will bring you all that action live with 11 cameras and all the views you can imagine from the crack Windfire production team. Gary Williams and his team do a fantastic job, and they continue to do so today. There is Z-Man lifting off of Fiesta Field. Right next to him is Geronimo. That's Johan Canale from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and this is his first Balloon Fiesta. Z-Man right there is being flown by Maicon Marcuz from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and this is his first Balloon Fiesta. There's Dale Dewey Ruth, who typically in that navy blue balloon flying in front of Z normally does Dom Patrol, but obviously elected today not to. Dale is a longtime pilot from down south here now in the Albuquerque metro area. We see Eric Hodges in That's Amore right next to Geronimo taking off, the red macaw, Splash Duck, the blue macaw. We got them all here today, Art.
We do. Make a drawing of the targets and show it with your camera. I'm going to see if I can't get the actual one that we have here.
I could put it on your iPad, perhaps, and be easier to see.
Well, we get it on the
on the screen.
On the screen.
There you go.
And so let me see if I can't get that down to the truck. Thanks for the suggestion. I usually try and remember to do that.
While you're looking for that, Alex Ray is watching from New Harmony, Utah, home of Purple Haze, pilot Dave Melton. There's baby T-Rex, Rex Jennings from the great state of Texas.
Pilots are being reminded about the competition getting open. And since they'll be headed north and east, there's a good chance they'll be landing on the Sandia Pueblo this morning. And so we're being reminded of the procedures.
There you go. There's some friends of yours, I think.
Oh, yeah. Spirits in the Sky. This
Barbara
is
Fricke, correct?
Barbara Fricke made the balloon. Actually sewed it. Peter Cuneo was more of the design. They went back to one of the early balloons that Sid built for 1973. And so they put that together and rebuilt that balloon for the 50th.
Fairly iconic balloon around here in the 70s that Sid used
Absolutely.
to fly around. Lots
Absolutely.
of great shots. You got the Roadrunner on one side, you got the Coyote on the other. Henceforth, we used to do the Roadrunner Coyote event where one balloon would take off and the other ones would chase them. There's a great wide view of a lot of the shapes. Another fantastic view there, Art. Check that out.
Steve, I just texted you the two graphics. The second one is probably the lower one. If you can make that.
Well, we're only a few minutes away from competition.
I think
so
you need to head on down there,
I
sir.
think I'm going to go. So
Yep.
I will be down. I'll see you down on the field, and
We'll handle it from here.
you got it, sir.
Have fun.
Yes, sir.
All right, the blue macaw in the sky. Take both pieces. You need it all. Well, there's a great shot of a number of the new shapes. There's Geronimo on top, Splash Duck, Pirate Joe over on the left, and then the macaws, which were new last year or the year before. So just a preview of what you're going to see on Thursday and Friday on Special Shapes Day here at Balloon Fiesta, when we'll have about 117 special shapes. The other part of the preview, as we're seeing and as Ted has talked about, we have now almost cleared the entire competition area of balloons, but yet we have a number of balloons that are standing up on the east side of the field. So the pilots have been told, if you want to stand your balloon up and you don't want to fly it, then we need to move you off the competition area, so we'll put you along the east side of the field. And we pulled up the aliens earlier. They've got a whole three of them there. The two regular shapes plus the special shape. There they are, with baby T-Rex kind of looking on from the left. Sonny Herhaus with the Dutch Direct is the racer in the front foreground of the screen. The red one with the blue and white checks. In fact, if we can kind of, pull back from there, we're going to get the U.S. Bank balloon, but also kind of sandwiched in there is the Never Forget balloon. We were talking about the Stork balloon and how Dr. Steve Comandina no longer flies the Stork. His son, Mark Comandina, does. And I mentioned that Mark usually flies the Never Forget balloon. Of course, someone else puts theirs up in the middle. Flies that one during the week and then stands the Stork up on our special shapes. Then kind of just pulling out and going down the line. There again, baby T-Rex. Just beyond that, the Inn of the Mountain Gods balloon. A new one for us. Perfect. See if we can See if I can get the, let's do this. Export to images. And I'm going to put them somewhere that I can. Oh, maybe I can just do it this way. Let's try that. Nothing like creating graphics for the show that we're going to use while you're announcing the show. And Ted's on his way down there. We were talking about all the regional productions, and you know they have hundreds of people that put those shows on. You know, 3 or 4 people per camera, and everybody's got their own little monitor to do all the replays and the graphics. And we do all that here with a lot less people. In fact, the entire team from the Balloon Fiesta Live side is only 10 people. That includes Ted and myself and Diane, our on-air folks, and another 7 production assistants that help us kind of keep things in the right place. And then the Windfire production team brings out about 20 or so people per day to be able to pull all this together. There's Princess Nellie getting some cold air in the balloon right next to the Spirits balloon we showed you before, with the Coyote on this side, the Roadrunner on the other side. Princess Nellie is the 3rd in a line of balloons. As the balloons wear out, they built slightly different ones, and Nellie has been Nellie and Nellie B, and now Princess Nellie. So doing that extra little work to prepare the graphic for you and help you understand the competition a little bit better, we do have the graphic to show for you. So this was the, this is what they're going to do. We can just move down to the yellow box that they had. There is the maximum double drop concept. So you see that there are 2 sets of triangles. There's a red one and a blue one. All that matters is you got a choice when you come down the left side of the field or the right side of the field. It's the same thing on the red as it's going to be on the blue. And there is an X between those 2 triangles. That is the measuring point. So where you want to be is you want to drop 1 marker in the very tiny tip at the far north end and another one in the tip of the south end of either the red or the blue. Now, as you can see on there, they have to be in the opposite triangles of the same color, and you have to drop an orange marker. So you're going to actually drop 2 of them. So come over the field, hopefully north to south or south to north, so that you can hit the very tip of that X of that triangle, fly over the X, and hit the other very tip. The biggest, the longest distance is what counts, but your markers must be in the triangles. And if you throw them both in one triangle, that doesn't work. If you throw one in a red and one in a blue, that doesn't work. So they have to match up. One in one red, one in the other red, or one in the blue, one in the other blue, and the farthest apart is going to be the best score. So that's what's called a maximum double drop. There's your XDD, maximum double drop. And then the other one is the hesitation waltz. 3 X's on the field, pick one, throw any marker other than orange or red. So they've got white ones and blue ones and yellow ones. They've got all those because those will all be measured to the center of whatever X you're on. It doesn't matter which X you go to, just as it doesn't matter which of the double drops you go to. So that's the competition that we're looking at today. Balloon pilots need to be at least a mile away when they launch, and then they'll be given the opportunity to fly in. Now, when they come into the competition area, they cannot touch the ground or they'll be given penalty points. They can land just on the south end of the field, and many of them will do that. Our balloon cameras are out with one of our competitors today. Pat Irwin is going to be flying, and we're seeing the camera. So they've gone more than a mile away. I'm not exactly sure where. and they've got the balloon getting ready to put the balloon together and fly. Our camera will be in there. Hopefully Pat will get over the target and will be able to throw his markers on the X's and into the triangles of the double drop, and we'll be able to see that view from the air. Meanwhile, Ted Maes is making his way down into the competition field with our other remote cameras so that we can be at the target when the baggies or the markers come out of the balloon. So another one of our drone shots taking a look across. This is looking down the line of balloons that are going to stay static on the field. We were talking about the balloons, of course, watching from the right to left, the aliens and baby T-Rex and the End of the Mountain Gods. Next to that, the yellow one with the diamonds on it is Diamond Girl. That's Bill and Carol Dickey. Get all the way down to the other end, the black and white checkerboard, that's Eric Hodges. And that's Amore. His previous balloons, which he still owns. Kisses. Kisses of Fire, I think was the other one. Interesting. I am seeing a lot of a handful of balloons that have managed to get to the west side of the field. Most of them have gone east today. And so it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is for the competition pilots. Where did they go where they think they're going to get the wind direction they need to be able to get back to the field? Usually when you take off from wherever you do, you have some idea of where you might go and where you might land, or where there might be multiple landing sites. Interesting in that shot from Pat Irwin getting set up, he appears to be in a residential neighborhood, which is going to be a thrill for the folks in the neighborhood there to have a balloon actually launch from there. Yeah, there's the neighborhood. Little cul-de-sac. Stretch the envelope out. It's obviously hooked up to the basket. There's the big inflator fan they'll bring up next to the basket. Turn that on. Meow Wolf. Another one of those corporate balloons being operated by Rainbow Riders for us. Chris Smart from Indiana flying the Meow Wolf balloon for us this year. And so we're just kind of, it is now 8 o'clock. And I see no reason that the competition window isn't actually open. There isn't anyone on task to be the first one in yet. There's the Beef Council balloon. Beefy Boy. Trent Caldwell flying for the Beef Council. A new sponsor for us here at Balloon Fiesta. Glad to have them along. Trent is an Albuquerque pilot, or actually technically Rio Rancho. Rio Rancho being a subsidiary, or a subsidiary, a suburb, if you will, of Albuquerque. Hey, we're getting close to our 10,000 subscriber mark. So another great moment for you to go hit the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook, take a second, move over to the YouTube feed, subscribe, then you can run right back to the Facebook page. Be sure and share it off your Facebook page. We'd certainly like to spread the word about Balloon Fiesta and through Balloon Fiesta Live. There's Cynthia Seal. The aliens in the background. Lindy with the sunglasses. Lindy's one of those balloons that will be flown by 3 or 4 different pilots this week, so I have no idea who's flying Lindy today. And we saw Nellie, Princess Nellie, being inflated before. Now she is inflated right next to Eric Hodges and his Amore balloon. They're all the way down at the far north end of the field. Out there by the chainsaw carvers and the artisans tent. Also, those folks here from Group Tours would be able to have a great view. That's Geronimo. One of the new special shapes. Wow Canale flying Geronimo. So the competition window, oh, there we go. Ted's ready to go, it looks like. Yeah, he's watching us. He's got us on the...
I'm watching it right now.
You
I'm
got
watching
it.
the
Yeah,
middle of the field.
You got us. You're out there, right? You're ready to go?
Yes, sir. Ready to roll.
They said you have to push something to talk? You have to push to talk now?
No, I don't believe so. Stephen, I don't have to push something to talk.
So we're communicating with the PA stage to make the switch of the audio. Shortly we'll be on the PA system with Ted from the field, Art from the rooftop studios for competition on day 2. And here we are live. Here we are live from Balloon Fiesta Live, up on the roof and down in the competition area. I'm Art Lloyd Jr. Ted Maes is down there, and Ted, you got a cloud hopper coming in right over your head.
Yes, I do. He's right over here, and we're getting ready to start this competition off, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit slower, so a lot more stuff going on than what we had yesterday. Right to my left over here are going to be the double drop scoring area, and then down over here is going to be the X's that we talked about before.
So Jeff Busing is the hopper that's coming in behind you.
Here's Jeff right here.
And you actually have a racer coming in on the other side.
Yes, we do. That's banner number 20 that's going to start to make their first drop of their double drop here. As you mentioned, there's an X in the middle of the 2 triangles, and there's 2 sets on both sides of me.
In the checkerboard
The
racer is
distance
Sean
furthest apart
Rea.
from the middle of the X is going to be there.
So Sean Rea is flying the racer, the checkerboard racer. Now, are the hesitation waltz X's, are those north or south of the scoring area, Ted?
Are you not hearing Art?
I think I might hear him.
Yeah.
So there's actually 2 different tasks out there today. There are 3 X's called the hesitation waltz. Pilots can throw a marker on any one of those, and the scores will be, they'll be all added. It's all part of the same task. And then there's a set of triangles that are out there, and the idea is to throw your marker in each of the triangles, and you want to be in the tip that is the farthest away. So it's a maximum distance task today.
So Art, I got it.
Yes, sir.
The first drop from banner 20 was this orange drop right down over here, if you can see it, kind of about the middle of the triangle, and he's maneuvering now to, it's actually threw it earlier right in the middle of those 2 section markers. So he's not the furthest away, but he's about the middle of both of those triangles for the first drop of this competition.
Sean Rea, always a great competitor here at Balloon Fiesta. And part of the deal is he may not be the farthest at the end, but right now he is. He's the only one with points.
A message, Steven.
So you've got the red, white, and blue checkers with the big white equator coming at you as well. So the idea here is I'm going to try and spot them by colors, and when Ted can spot a banner number or we can get a banner number, we'll help identify who they are and let you know. So we're going to, so we can, we'll see if we can identify that one while we get a little bit of, so that Ted can actually hear me talk to him. I'm not sure why he'd want to listen, but, and when I do talk to him, sometimes he doesn't listen. So just picking on Ted. What a great partner he's been here on Balloon Fiesta Live. And like all of a sudden, there are all kinds of balloons coming into the target area. In fact, so yeah, the wind stuff has changed. We have more of a box now. We have people coming in from both ends. Down here on the very south end, the red spiral with the black and white and yellows, that's going to be Mark Sullivan in code red. I see the red and white one with the checkerboards going around and the arrows. That's going to be Natasha Stenke. In her Wonder Woman balloon.
61. Neil's going for his second drop, very so slowly. He's about ready to cross over the south triangle, over the X, and then he has his passenger, it looks like, is going to throw the secondary marker. So we'll see it live here on Balloon Fiesta Live, and live out on the field with all the spectators watching from the east side of the field.
So, yep, we're watching a close shot of the basket of Neil in his 061. For those of you on the field, that's the yellow verticals with the alternating blue and orangish colors. Neil Jackson, the president of the board of directors of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta this year. And right down to the ground, just don't touch the ground. A little wind up. There's the toss.
And he threw it, but he didn't make the triangle.
Oh, no. And remember, on the the maximum double drop, you've got to get a marker in each of the triangles. There's two there. There's actually four. There's a set of two and another set of two. You actually have to hit both triangles in one set.
Now, Art, if you watch this balloon to your west side of the field,
there's a throw into a triangle.
He just threw a heck of a throw. Yes, right to the tip of the triangle, Art. And I don't have a banner number, but we do have Trenton Caldwell in next. He's trying to follow the same track in the New Mexico beef balloon. And let's watch him come down. It's that black balloon with the white equator and obviously the word beef right to the middle of it.
It was amazing. There was kind of like no one over the target, and then all of a sudden you've got about 20 that are all coming in on you. We see Trent now.
He's working that vent line so he can get down to the tip of the south triangle, and then he's going to move north just like this purple racer balloon did.
Totally different than yesterday where they came kind of screaming over the target. Today it's kind of like, am I ever going to get there?
Which is that old saying, maybe the calm before the storm, right, Art?
Yeah.
Here's Trenton's first throw right here. He's just hovering right over the top. Venting again.
And we're watching Natasha navigate as well. She's actually looks like she's going to go back up. But on the other hand, just to the south of the beef balloon, you've got Eric Greenwood and his enchantment balloon.
There's Trenton coming right to the deck, and watch this, Art. He's going to drop it. It looks like right on the tip of the south triangle. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Nice drop.
Very nice,
So
Trent. Very
that's
nice.
One.
Now he's got to get the other one.
Now Trenton's got to go north and hit that other triangle, and he's trying to work it. But let me tell you, this is beyond light and variable, Art, at this point.
Yeah, it's from our view down here, it's like they're not even moving.
And here's Trenton's throw. Yes, and he made it into the triangle.
Good deal. So again, they'll measure those back to a measuring point between the triangles, add the two distances together, and the greatest distance is the best score on that task.
Art, here's Mr. Greenwood coming in. As slow as it goes, and let's see how close we can get down over here.
And I still see Sean Reyes still working his way around out there. That was the kind of checkerboard racer with the white patches on it.
I'm thinking that Trenton's probably thinking he should have held that marker because he's almost now over the northern part of the triangle. But nevertheless, a great throw from Trent.
Definitely a day for patience.
And you can watch Mr. Eric Greenwood. He's trying to finesse it. He's got the marker, the orange marker that must be thrown at this target in his mouth while he's venting.
Yeah, with multiple markers, you
Gave
need
it-
a hand for the vent, you need a hand for the burner. The mouth comes in handy.
Gave it a little too much on that one and had to re-vent out here. And remember, he cannot touch the ground, so now he's burning again. So he does not. And I think that may do it, Art. He may be right in here. Oh, he's drifting a little bit more west, so he may go back up and try and work it again.
While we continue to
Yeah, I
watch
think
Eric,
that's exactly what he's going to do.
while we're watching Eric, I'm also seeing Jared Trainer come in from the south end. That's the blue and red spirals with the gold and the black. Jared is the one who won the Sid Cutter Memorial task yesterday, dropping his marker into the boat.
Look at this.
You know, yesterday you kind of got one pass on the target and you came through. Now it looks like once you get into the target area, you can just hang out there all day, which is going to make it very difficult for those who are coming later to be able to get close.
Yeah, or I have Natasha Stanky right above me and Mr. Eric Greenwood, and it looks like banner 078 is going for a score here on the Eastern Double Diamonds.
The purple spiral with the yellows added
well
to
as,
it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
As well as Sean Spiker, he's right over here going to make a throw on the Eastern double drop.
Sean is in the yellow and blue one with the skull on the side. Right next to that, the purple one with the yellow and the white spirals. That's Sherry White in her new balloon, Millie. And then that lighter shade of purple one has been hanging in the target area for almost the entire time that the target has been open. And I just keep watching Natasha in her Wonder Woman balloon, red, white, and blue with the arrows, up, down, as she continues to navigate to get her a better line on those X's and triangles.
Art, if you take a look at Sean out here in gut punched, I believe is the balloon. He's not going anywhere anytime fast, anytime soon. That's how light and variable of the day it is out here. Again, 180 degrees from yesterday's competition.
Yeah. They do seem to be right on the deck, like within the first 10 or 15 feet, drifting to the east, right over to the edge of the competition and over in where all those balloons are on static display. But then I look at balloons that are about 200 feet. They seem to be moving more to the southwest. But if you can get to the target area, then it looks like you can just kind of play around. Pat Irwin has our balloon camera. He is in the air. Pat will be working his way to the target area with our Balloon Fiesta Live balloon cam. So we're taking a great look of all the balloons in the sky. As Pat attempts to get here, we'll be watching for him. Hopefully he'll get into the target area.
There's a nice throw from banner 178, Art, right the furthest north part of the triangle. Again, the goal here is to throw the furthest on each end of where the triangle tips at the top. So a great throw at the bottom and a great throw at top from banner 178. And don't worry, he's not going to touch the ground. He'll be able to get enough air to stop that descent before that happens. And on cue right there.
So I believe you're talking about Peg Bilson in Shiloh.
That is correct.
Yellow kind of squares.
184, Art.
Peg was in the yellow at the middle with the blues at the top. And 184 is going to be the checkerboard type balloon that you see. That's Stephanie Maughan. I've got that snowflake balloon that we talked about earlier, basically coming down right over the top of the rooftop studio way down here at the south end of the field. Hoping to catch the wind back to the north to get back into the area. Off from the southeast, I see the Xfinity Rewards balloon. Looks like he's trying to come in from the southeast. So they're going to come at you from almost every direction potentially today, Ted.
They are. I can tell you that Mr. Greenwood, if you don't succeed, try again. He was not able to get over to the targets on the west side of the field. He's now looking at the east double drop, right next to the Fidelity balloon. And in the meantime, Natasha Stanky has worked her way over the top of all of them, and looks like she's going to make an attempt to come into the same targeted area.
And we're looking at 105. At least it looked like 105, the banner that we saw. Great shot of the basket, but I don't see his balloon out there, so I'm wondering if he's flying a different envelope than what I am expecting. There was his throw.
Yeah.
Looks like he may have made it in. It's 205. That's what we're looking at. 205 is Larry Cohen. Our balloon camera is getting closer to the field. They appear to be coming in from the east. There I see him.
Art, we have two balloons getting ready to score on the eastern double drop positioning. We have the Fidelity balloon, followed by, again, Mr. Eric Greenwood. Again, he didn't make it to the western targets, so he said, I'll go up and I'll just try the eastern targets. And here he comes in. You're going to see it live.
And we're talking about the yellow balloon with the yellow balloon with the red silhouette of New Mexico.
Yep.
This is the second envelope. His first one was Enchantment. This one is called Entrapment.
Oh, and he got it right on the tip of the southern triangle inside the scoring area.
You make two throws like that, you'll be at the top.
Northern tip.
Yep, 2 throws like that. That'll
Great
put
throw,
you,
Eric.
Yeah, that'll put you at the top. Keep watching for Natasha to drop back in. She's just doing the elevator pitch. Up, down, up, down, up, down. There's a shot back on the line looking back at Eric and entrapment. And you actually can see the triangles now.
Here's his second throw right here.
Kevin's getting this side. Whatever you want to do. Okay.
Here's his second throw.
We see the windup.
Oh, we got a caught in the ropes. Here it comes. And right in the middle of the triangle.
Good deal.
Very nice throw, Eric.
Good recovery from hitting the crown line with the marker. And of course, we have a tight shot of that on Balloon Fiesta Live. He's not going to, he'll have a little bit of trouble living that one down. But with a good score, anything works.
Absolutely.
Now we actually have a really nice shot of the target from one of our drone cameras. You can see the 2 triangles and how they point away from each other. So as Ted and I have been describing, the best scores are in the farthest tips. 1 marker in each triangle at the farthest tip, because the greatest distance is going to be at the top of the board with those. We're looking at 0-3-0. That's Bill Dobbs from Utah in Wildfire. That is the kind of looks like flame going up into the sky coming at you from the north, Ted.
Yes. Well, there's kind of a lull right now, Art, out here, believe it or not. I'm saying that, although it looks to me like have Marissa Myers or her husband flying banner 127. It looks like they're going to go for the western target.
We're looking at the yellow and red balloon with the Kachina on the side. Yeah, and as they drop in, you'll just have to tell us whether that's Marissa or Cody.
It is definitely Cody.
Okay. Marissa likes to fly the Mars rover, which is a hopper, which we may see. I haven't caught it in the sky yet, but the sky is so full of balloons. And they're all just kind of hanging around. I'm sure they're actually working very hard to try and get to the target because it has become so calm that actually the technique
and
of
here's
going
Cody
up and
right
down.
now. Cody's making his approach right here to the western triangle.
We've got a great shot of him on the in his basket.
Oh, Gary.
He's pointing where he wants to throw it.
Got to visualize.
You're always flying like 3 seconds, 4 seconds ahead of what you're doing. Here comes out the orange marker.
What a great day to be flying, but a challenging day to be flying competition.
Slow as it goes. He's given instruction to where the marker wants to be thrown. There's the throw. Very nice throw. Right in the middle of the triangle target. Not the tip, but still it scores, and they're going to have points on the board.
Like we talked about yesterday, you want to score every single day to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the week.
Now, Art, we have this red, white, and blue vertical racer over the southwest target, double drop target. It seems like he's going to probably try and go up again and start all over.
Right there.
Natasha's coming back down
But today's
again.
the type of day that you could definitely do that.
So the white, red, and black racer, that's Edward Gordon from Austin, Texas.
Which one? The one in the sun, or?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I can shoot.
Oh, we're looking for the zoom right here. Oh, yeah, it's not on the zoom.
And while he's going back up, Xfinity Rewards is kind of slipping in, and Natasha, there's her on the screen. The red, white, and blue with the black checkerboard and the arrows. She's making another drop. There's Xfinity. It's been about 6 or 7 minutes from the southwest corner of the field to almost the target area. Xfinity being flown by Jacob Little.
Art, actually, Natasha was over the top of me. I took a picture of her when I was in the center of the field at 8:18. It's now 8:30. So it kind of falls into, if you ever go on a balloon ride, it really feels like the time lasts forever. So it's actually been almost 20 minutes. Well, 10 minutes anyway, since she's been over the top of me in the center of the field, and she's making her approach from the south back to the north, looking at that eastern target.
I think she was probably over you for 10 minutes before you took that picture, because she's just been right in the center of that field. Up, down, up, down. It's like, what floor would you like to go to?
Yeah, there's an optical illusion for sure.
Let's walk right over there to the edge. And get
everywhere
her.
I'm just looking out there, we just have this cluster of balloons hanging. Every so often, somebody finds a little bit of direction. And actually, I'm looking up, probably up 500 feet or so. There are a couple that all of a sudden have some speed to the northeast.
Well, Art, she's going up again. She didn't like the track that she had, so she's going to try it one more time. Again, try again if you don't succeed the first time.
Keith to catch, and too fast to catch. His racer dropping in pretty quickly from the northern end. A lot of blue with red-orange colors in it. It's going to drop in right out there by the Kachina balloon of Cody Myers.
Oh, wow.
Keith always near the top of the leaderboard in the
Ask
local
and
balloon club competitions.
Ask and you shall receive, Art.
We keep watching Cody Myers in his banner number 127 Kachina balloon. Keep getting great shots of him as he continues to try and navigate. Oh, I see Keith has changed direction.
And there's Keith right there, Art, just hanging out, vented out really good. He slowed himself from a nice terminal descent. Maybe did a little too late because it looks like he's going to miss both of these triangles, but he may try again.
I wouldn't put it past him. He'll keep working it.
They're on my shot right now, so I can't move it. Okay.
What a view.
Yep.
What a view.
Art, here we have Chris Liberti making his attempt in to do a little bit of waltzing on the north end of the field in that balloon pole dancer. That's the one with the black, pink, yellow, green.
We got him.
Scoop.
We got him.
He's going for a little waltz up there.
I can't wait to see some of the tracks of these flights, especially looking at the altitudes, because they're not going to be moving left and right, but when you look at the altitude changes, it's just going to be incredible.
They are literally all over the place. I am like a kid in a candy store in the middle of all of this at the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the 53rd edition. I'm Ted Maes in the middle field, and up on the rooftop studio is
Art Lloyd Jr. as we continue to watch, and we have a shot back on the field. Pat Irwin is high overhead. He's still over Concession Row near the south end. Remember, his balloon is yellow at the bottom, kind of moves into the lighter orange, the darker orange. But he's probably a good 1,000 feet or more, probably 1,500 up on the southeast corner of the field. That's where our mobile camera is, so we can be able to look down onto the field. And as they're going to look down, they're going to see just a whole lot of color, as we just have a whole lot of people hanging over the field.
Is it that one?
that's him.
Nope, lost it. Hold on. Let me get situated here.
And Art, this is our view from the field.
We're actually
looking
looking
back up at him.
Yeah, oh, there you go. I was going to say that's what we're seeing, looking up at him. And there's the view back down onto the field. So kind of towards the top of the picture is where we are on the rooftop studio. You saw the balloons along the side, and in the lower right is where the targets are. You saw the white triangles.
Well, Art, I was just orange markered by Mr. Joe Candelaria here. Unfortunately, he didn't hit inside the triangle. He came close, but his marker's right down here, just outside of the scoring area. But we do have a couple right here behind us. Right behind us over here that are going to score. He's going to score
There's
two
a
times.
throw. There, we just
Here's
got
his
an
first
orange
throw into the triangle. Here comes another one.
I still think we need to have basket banner numbers on all four sides of the baskets. You know,
Yes,
like jerseys, numbers, and names, where you can see them from all sides.
There's a heck of a throw right down here into the tip of the triangle. Nice throw.
We got that one for you. Those of you on the field, Al Nels has landed the beautiful World balloon right down here at the very south end of the field.
Art, I can feel the conditions changing down here on the field. Very much like Don Day, our stat weather crew with Balloon Fiesta had suggested was going to happen. What's happening behind the Sandia Mountains now are both of those weather patterns are fighting it out, and I'm starting to feel a drainage from the northwest to the southeast that is coming right from this end of the field. So it's creating another dividing rod, unfortunately, for some of these balloons that have been trying to make their approaches into Fiesta Field. So I don't see anybody here now that can possibly get to the targets, other than we have Zach up here in Dixie. I'm not sure what it is with the $sign, the orange racer balloon. There are a couple, but it definitely changed. Mr. Sprinkles with J.J. Mancini over here to my left. But they are really getting pushed to the east now at this point. The weather is definitely starting to change down here on the field.
Actually, just as you started saying that, I was feeling the exact same thing here. I'm looking up, and so all that hovering that was going on right over the field is obviously not happening. A few hundred feet up, it's still fairly calm, but those people that were 400 or 500 feet are now moving fairly quickly to the east. On the other hand, if they went up another 400 or 500 feet, there seems to still be an ability to get back to the west. I'm looking up high, and I see Pat Irwin with our balloon camera in the yellow, orange, etc. There's the yellow with black mustache of Zarek Wells, and Colin McClung's Freedom Racer, the blue and white checkerboard with the word freedom. They're up high enough that they seem to be able to continue to drift to the west, meaning that if this holds when they get to the west side of the field, they can drop down, catch the east to come back around. So it's that east to west or that left to right box that's happening today. So whatever
exactly right. Most of these balloons over the west side of the field now are not going to be able to make these targets, but the ones that are over on the east side will. But if you kind of take a gander to the northwest, you have that yellow balloon with the red verticals going up, a total different track of the light and variable winds here that we experience in Albuquerque. He's kind of going northeasterly. So there is some steerage up there, but I think everybody that's on the east side or the west side of the field has a better shot at making these targets down here.
Yeah, so all that planning and strategizing, and we're going to go here to launch because we're going to fly this kind of track, all of that just went out the window. Everything just changed, and now you've got to be able to adjust.
Again, you said being patient today is key, and I couldn't agree with you more. The patience has kind of now changed. How am I going to change my game plan to be able to actually at least get a score? Because, as you said, points on the board are better than nothing, and I think you'll start seeing some of these pilots doing such.
So we're watching a throw out on one of the X's. Remember, we've been kind of concentrating on the maximum double drop, the triangles, but there are 3 X's out on the north end of the field, whereas they get to the north end, they can pick any one of those X's to throw their marker on. And the X's, it's the closest to the center of the X, where in the triangle, we want to be the farthest out on the little tiny pointy tips and have our markers as far apart as possible while still being inside the triangles. Pat Irwin's making a descent right there next to Zach Maxwell and Zixie. Pat Irwin is the racer shape with the yellow at the bottom. Dixie is the multicolor vertical pattern, regular shape balloon. That would be Zach in that one, and Pat just stopped that descent. We see him on the screen. He's the one carrying our balloon camera today for us. Pat's from Nevada.
I don't have anybody low.
And Art, he's got a very nice track coming in. He actually may make these eastern double drop markers. If not, he will definitely have a chance to waltz on any of the 3 at the north end of the field, the 3 X's.
So we just had a shot of Pat in the basket, and now we're looking up at the basket, and you can see the Balloon Fiesta Live banners on the side. Balloon Fiesta Live, of course, a live stream of all 14 sessions of Balloon Fiesta. Those of you here watching it on the field, when you get back home or to your RV or hotel, be sure and check it out at balloonfiestalive.com. You can watch all of our live coverage of Balloon Fiesta. This is year number 9 for Balloon Fiesta Live. You can go back and watch all the previous years. And if you can't get out here to the field, be sure and check us out. Again, that's balloonfiestalive.com.
Well, I'll tell you, Art, both Zach and Mr. Irwin look like they're making some great approaches, but now we have about a cluster of 4 or 5 that have an opportunity to hit the scoring area here. So you'll watch this live on Balloon Fiesta Live. If you're out at the field, just kind of take a look over to the north side. That would be if your back is to the scoring area, to your right-hand side. And you see Zach coming in with the purple verticals with the pinks, yellow, and aqua.
What a great shot we have of the target and the triangles we've been talking about. Again, you want to be your markers, you want to be as far apart, but yet inside that set of triangles. That view coming from our balloon camera up with Pat Irwin. And Zach looks like he is making his approach. That's the black, pink, yellow, green, all the whole vertical pattern, regular shaped balloon.
He's a little far north of the triangles.
Okay.
So it looks, Art, like if you stay high and come a little bit more south and make that descent, you have a better shot of hitting these triangle targets. Zach just came in a little too early. He just threw on the X down there, which was a fantastic throw. But if you want to get in this double drop area, you're going to have to be patient and come a little bit more south to drop in.
I'm thinking the other thing is that the X's are along the north end, and then you have the diamonds, the triangles, more towards the south. With this pattern from west to east, you're going to go over them or between them. You're not going to be able to hit both. Or at least it's going to be tough.
You are 100% correct, sir.
Because I'm watching Zach as he's drifting to the east over towards Concession Row. Looks like Johnny Petrin is dropping in right below Pat Irwin. Johnny has that silver spiral.
And there's Pat Irwin just threw and came fairly close to one of the X's on the north end of the field.
Good job, Pat.
Here's Zach getting ready to go on one of the triangles, and he'll just miss it. So Zach just missed on the outside of the northern triangle, but we have
okay, we're going to watch the throw from Pat.
Balloons are coming in.
From the balloon, we've got the balloon camera. Pat's got his orange markers in hand.
Yeah, I know. We got it. We got it.
Actually, it looks like his co-pilot has the markers in hand, actually, which is a good strategy. Pilot flies the balloon. Let a passenger or co-pilot actually throw the markers. Oh, you're watching it right from the balloon. There's the triangles right in front of us. Kind of wrapping up the marker.
And he's coming right to us, Art, here on the field.
We see you in the shot. We're watching from the balloon. There goes the, was that the throw? Did it go? There it went.
Come on.
Oh, he made it in the triangle.
Okay, now he's got to get the other one.
Car triangle here. Come on. Here we go.
And he wants to get as close to that tip where you are.
Yeah. No swinging. No swinging.
Yes, he wants to get as close to the tip right here, as close to the tip.
Don't wait too long. Point him at it. Point him at it, Ted. Point him at it. Point him at it.
Right there. Right there. Right there. Yeah!
Yes!
Nice job.
Excellent throw. All right. That's where you want to be.
We have this other Ultra Magic coming our way, actually, Art, right now, and he looks like he may come right to the very edge of the triangle.
If you're talking about the silver one, that's
We
going to be
actually have a
Johnny
couple coming at
Petrin.
us here. Yes. Hey, Johnny.
Great video stuff here on Balloon Fiesta Live. If you're on the field, you are absolutely going to want to have to go back and watch that happen. It is going to be at the 2-hour and 45-minute mark of today's show.
Look out, look out, look out.
The curse of the balloon camera is broken. Great job, Pat Irwin and crew.
Nice throw. That's banner 166. Got a throw right down here at the front of the target as well, Art.
Al
Banner
Appenzeller.
166.
Yep, 166. Al Appenzeller. In the dark blue backgrounds with the yellow vertical and horizontal stripes, accented also by some green ones. That was Al. We just watched his throw.
Oh, we got two right here.
Do this low one?
Yeah, just low one. All right, Art, we have another one coming in with a very nice track to hit the north end of the eastern double drop. I don't have a banner number for you.
You're talking about the zigzag with the green and the yellow and orange and white?
Yes, sir. Nice drop. And now he's going to fly it down over here.
Because the direction just changed again. Now they're right on the deck. There's more to the southeast. So now when I said, oh, you're not going to be able to get both, now the direction has changed. You could get both the X's and the triangles.
And right behind this one that we have,
129.
129 is what banner number is. We have this one, this toss, and we have Michael Glenn coming in on the Chariot. Bugs, I believe, is the name of his balloon, and he just made a nice toss, scored some points. Very nice, Michael.
129 is Brian Cohen. Not sure how to pronounce Brian's last name. He's from Marina del Rey, California.
And Art, we have another group that's making their way in here. There's a couple. There's the one that's low here. That's the multicolor with green at the bottom going to the top. I have this racer spinning around. I should have a number for you here in just a second. 109 is making their approach into the eastern double drop target.
Brett Christensen from Indianola, Iowa is flying that racer you're talking about. I see Jerry Palmer is making a drop in his Iona balloon, but Colin McClung in the Freedom balloon. There's 109, Brett Christian. We see him toss his balloon, his marker.
Nice toss. Jerry made it in the north triangle, and now he's going for the south triangle. Again, this is balloon 109. It's the yellow equator with the green racer, almost midfield right now.
Resurrection, the name of that. That again is Brett Christensen. Still a lot of maneuvering as I'm looking out there. Some of our other big competitors. I see one of the Hartzell balloons out there. I see Gary Cass in his red racer balloon. Zarek Wells in his yellow one with the mustache going up and down, trying to make it. Another Hartzell balloon high overhead. Keith the Catch has gone back high again as well. Ken Drawn is out there. Shane Shipman is out there as well. Jared Trainer. A lot of maneuvering going on above your head.
98. Banner 98 just made two throws, although it made it in, but if I'm not mistaken, are this red or orange only, Art?
Red and orange on the double drop, the triangles. Any other color on the X.
All right, we got red and orange on this one from Banner 98 that just flew over for you.
Banner 98 should be Frank Dickey or one of his other additional pilots. So my spotters here
now,
on the roof, Ted,
guess
say,
who I see make it.
Watch out for balloons coming,
I said, now
markers
look
from
who I
coming
see.
high. Go ahead.
Art, you're never going to believe who I see again now making their approach from the northwest to the southeast. That would be one Natasha Stanky with the blue balloon with the vertical triangles or arrows.
Oh, yeah, we see her.
And then I have Justin right over here. He's not going to make the target. He's a little too far. He's kind of like right in the middle, unfortunately. That's the balloon with the red swirled equator going up in blue.
He's getting ready to throw.
Art, we do have one coming from the north to the south. It's a racer on the western targets. It's got the blue vertical stair steps with the yellow. I don't have a banner number, but it looks like he or she is going to fly right over both the north and south triangle on the west side of the field target area.
And I'm thinking we're looking at Jerry Palmer on the screen. Oh, we just switched to, that may be Shane that we're looking at now.
We got 3 or 4 balloons scoring right now on the eastern targets. Banner 57 making their approach in. Banner 100 making their approach in. Banner 57 is the pink with the black and the white. Banner 100 is the USA vertical stars going up with the red, white, or red, orange, and blue and yellow.
Right, that's Iona with Jerry Palmer. We talked about that being an Arizona balloon, and then you remove the ARZ from Arizona, you get Iona. There's his throw.
Ooh, that one just bounced in. The yellow balloon actually got it inside the target. It bounced out and bounced in.
As long as it ends up inside, the weighted part ends up inside, we're good. Or they're good.
The weighted part is definitely inside. Definitely inside.
Okay.
This one looks good.
Stair step.
Art, we have this balloon right up here. It's yellow with the red and green and blue zigzags. I think it was Step It Up. I cannot recall the name of the pilot, but he looks like he has a fairly decent track to hit both the north and south triangles in the double drop on the eastern targeted area.
Stepping up is Aaron Gebhardt from Indianola, Iowa. So I do see a number of balloons that have decided to go ahead and land outside the target area, inside the competition area, and our launch directors, our zebras, are nicely walking the balloon over to the side so that the crew can get to it and actually deflate the balloons.
Art, here's the balloon we talked about on the west targeted area, the yellow with the white and blue. He is going right over the end of the triangle on the southern triangle. He already made his throw before, and he's just going to set this down at the tip.
I think we got him on the basket. Just kind of leaning over. Little burn.
There you go.
Little toss.
Right in the tip.
Perfect. Nice close-up shot of that here on Balloon Fiesta Live. I'm thinking this might be Ken Drawn dropping in that we're watching. That would be the yellow racer with the diamonds on it.
Here's Step It Up Art about to make a drop on the eastern scoring area.
Got folks looking right down at you. As we look right up at them. Watching for the throw. There's the throw. Yeah.
Right. Very nice. Points in the bucket.
Who is that?
Points in the bucket. That is Step It Up.
Okay.
Gerhard, Mr. Gerhard from Indianola, Indiana. Art, we have Zarek Wells, banner 046, coming in to the southern triangle. I'm sorry, banner 044 on the southern triangle of the western target area. He just threw to the northern one. Let's see if he can make it in. It is in the triangle.
That's good. That's a little more difficult at the altitude he's at. We're talking about the yellow one with the black mustache. And I see Natasha Stanky in her Aero balloon, which is the Wonder Woman balloon. She's dropping right down in behind him.
She's actually in front of him on the southern end of the field. He's on the north side, so she's actually past all the targeted areas at this point.
And your yellow Ultra Magic balloon that's kind of out there, that's banner number 76. Terra Montana. Adriana Gambin is the pilot. There's a great shot on the screen of Zarek with the mustache and Ken Drawn with his diamonds.
Kenny's got to make that final throw on that southern target. There's Ken with a throw. I can't tell from here if he made it into the targeted area, and I'm not sure if Zarek is going to make it there either. Art, we're back at the eastern targeted area. This is banner 076 you were just speaking of, the Ultra Magic. They seem to be working their way in, and unfortunately, the competition is now over as the pink smoke
is up
from the middle of the field.
Well, they said they were gonna end it at 9 o'clock today, and we see the smoke on there as well. Look at all the people, all the pilots that are still hanging there, that were still working this, that are gonna say, if they had just left the target open a little longer, I would have been there. So, yeah, what a great day, though, and difficult competition challenges, great flying conditions, but really, really tough to be able to navigate into the target areas.
Absolutely. It was slow as it goes, but it was one of those days that made it a lot more competitive for these pilots. It is a fantastic day out here. We've had a fantastic day out here at our competition. I'm going to make my way back up to the rooftop studio. It's been a lot of fun bringing you all the live action, watching Pat Irwin fly over us and drop right on the tip of the triangle. So for today, I'm done. I'm Ted Maes. I'm sending it back to Art Lloyd Jr. back on the rooftop studio.
Thanks, Ted. And so we're going to finish up our Balloon Fiesta Live coverage here. Those of you on the field, hey, go back and watch BalloonFiestaLive.com when you get back home or to your hotel. You can check that out at any time to be able to see Balloon Fiesta Live. You'll be able to see all this coverage, all the close-up shots of the pilots and the throws. And, of course, even from the sky, again, as our balloon pilot, Pat Irwin, with the Balloon Fiesta Live camera, made that drop right on the edge of the triangle after getting a marker in the other triangle as well. So we brought it to you here live on Balloon Fiesta Live. Again, for those of you on the field, check it all out, BalloonFiestaLive.com.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
All right, now, yep, I was just giving a pause there to let the PA announcer switch back to the PA. And so we would love to have your comments about our coverage today and any type of thing. So go ahead and email us at balloonfiestalive@balloonfiesta.com, balloonfiestalive@balloonfiesta.com. That's also the place to be able to send us any pictures that you have, whether you were here on the field and we're watching that way, or if you've been watching from home or work. We won't out you that you were watching at work. We'll just throw the pictures up. We'd love to see those. Of course, like, share, all those types of things, our Facebook and YouTube feeds as we move forward. We would love for you to share this out. What an exciting day of competition here today. We have had a camera in a balloon for years now, trying to get you that shot coming in over the field, and Pat Irwin made it happen for us today. That was just extremely exciting. I want to wrap up and give you a couple of other things that are happening around town. Let's start with the brand new theme for 2026. That was officially announced last night at our Globitos Glow in the Village at Los Ranchos here. And because of the celebration, the centennial celebration of Route 66 that is kicking off now, That got kicked off last night with that glow, and we have released the 2026 theme, the Scenic Route. And as you can see, we're going to talk about Route 66 in 2026 with the 100th anniversary centennial of that. Balloon Fiesta 2026 starts on October 3rd, runs through the 11th. These bumper stickers are available now on the field, and we'll start putting them in any of your purchases that you buy at balloonfiestastuff.com. So we'll switch right to balloonfiestastuff.com. That is our online official merchandise place. By going to balloonfiestastuff.com, you'll be able to get any of your balloon memorabilia, clothing, etc. if you use the BF Live code. So when you get all your stuff in your cart, make sure you've got some sportswear in there. Both, I'm just chuckling because I just became eclipsed by the balloon. There's this balloon that just got right in fact, you can see it. Now the sun's coming back out. I was just in the dark. That was an eclipse by a balloon of the sun. Anyway, we were talking about balloonfiestastuff.com. Put the sportswear in your cart as you get to the checkout. Apply the coupon discount code of BF Live. We'll take 10% off your sportswear. Now, very special, released just this morning, a brand new pin commemorating the glow in the village last night in Los Ranchos, which also goes along with the 66 on Old 66. So a brand new pin that was released just this morning at 6 o'clock, and there it is on the screen. So the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, 66 on Old 66. Of course, it says 2025 because it happened last night. We're still in 2025, even though we're already working on 2026. Only 250 of those pins available online. You need to get them now. Scan the code. Use the same BF stuff, balloonfiestastuff.com, to get that pin. The code does not work on the pin alone. The code works on the sportswear. And finally, to a way that you can get involved without having to purchase anything would be to win yourself a Balloon Fiesta Live license plate. You can do that by scanning this QR code. So you've got it out. We're just going to scan them all here. That code was going to take you to Balloon Fiesta Live contest entry page. Put in your name, a few other little pieces of information, and we will be drawing 3 names per session to give away license plates just like that. This design was actually an official license plate design here in the state of New Mexico for a number of years. While it's still valid if you have one, you can no longer get a balloon plate from the Motor Vehicle Division. However, you can get a Balloon Fiesta Live license plate from us by scanning that QR code and entering. You could be someone like Beverly Dacour from Santa Rosa, California, or Dana Morina from Green Bay, Wisconsin, or Tim Madura from Marshallville, Ohio. Those are the 3 winners of the Balloon Fiesta Live license plate for this Tuesday morning. Now, we've added something this year because we've been giving these plates away for 3 years. We added something this year, and that is you may have seen us wearing our Balloon Fiesta Live jackets. It's warmed up, and I've taken mine off, but on one side we have the Fiesta ExxonMobil Balloon Fiesta logo. The other side has the Balloon Fiesta Live logo, and on the back it has the special shapes design that we give these jackets to all of our special shape pilots. So it is an official jacket from Balloon Fiesta that we've added the Balloon Fiesta Live logo to. That same QR code that you can win the license plate from will also put you in the drawing for a jacket. We're giving 3 license plates per session. We're giving 1 jacket per day. And so Tuesday's jacket winner, I haven't pulled. Yeah, I have my jacket on the back. I forgot to pull Tuesday's jacket winner. So I'm going to have to go do that and have to tell you more about that tomorrow. So coming up tomorrow, speaking of tomorrow, Wednesday, we're back to a Maes Ascension Day. We've had 2 days of competition. We're back to a Maes Ascension Day. We'll get started with the drone patrol, the drone show at 5:45. Dawn patrol at 6 o'clock. We'll also, because it's a Mass Ascension Day, have our Krispy Kreme Morning Glow at 6:30, and then we'll be into the Flight of the Nations and our Mass Ascension, sponsored by New Mexico True tomorrow. So New Mexico True will be the balloon of the day. Just a regular old Mass Ascension, no competition. 7:30, we're going to have some our Los Globitos, fresh off of their engagement at the Glow in the Village. They'll be joining us around 7:30. Every morning and every afternoon, our chainsaw carvers do their demonstration and auction here on the field. So it is still a morning day tomorrow, and then starting Thursday, it gets really busy because we go to two-a-days again. So Thursday and Friday are special shapes day. We'll feature our special shapes in the morning, but we're also going to do competition like we did today, where we're going to send about half the balloons off on just a flight. The other half are going to fly in, but those 100 special shapes will either fly or they'll stand up, like we had a lot of static balloons standing up this morning. Of course, it all starts, as every morning does, with the drone show at 5:45, Dawn Patrol at 6 o'clock, and as you can see, the Special Shapes Rodeo I was talking about at 7 o'clock, competition at 8, chainsaw carvers again, entertainment on the Main Street stage. The chainsaw carvers continue, and then Thursday night we'll be featuring our chainsaw carvers. Team Fast Tracks jumps in at. We've got some entertainment on the stage. Our Special Shapes Glowdio. That's where we do a balloon glow with just the special shapes. Gets underway about 6:30. Team Fast Tracks jumps back in at 7:30 with their pyrotechnics. They're sponsored by Accident Insurance Company. We follow up and finish off the evening with a different drone show than we have in the morning, sponsored by Sandia Resort and Casino, and our 8 o'clock Afterglow fireworks show. Friday is a repeat of Thursday, with the addition of Friday being Kids Day here at Balloon Fiesta, sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Great fun, free gifts available for all kids starting at 4:30 by the main stage. But again, all the ballooning activities are the same on Friday as they were on Thursday. Friday evening, same type of thing with the balloon glow. And then on Saturday, we are back to another Mass Ascension. The middle of the day, we have our awards briefing. Saturday is ExxonMobil Day here at the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. More entertainment on the stage, and then our final Night Magic Balloon Globe will be Saturday night right here on the field. We'll wrap it all up Sunday morning with a farewell Mass Ascension. Of course, we always start the day with the drone show, the Dawn Patrol folks, and our Krispy Kreme Morning Glow before we get into the Mass Ascension. Then, unfortunately, we pack it all up until we get to 2026, when it will be the scenic route at the 54th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Hey, Ted Maes made it all the way back from down in the competition area. So, yeah, Ted is up here now.
That was a lot of fun.
Did you?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Sorry about that.
There you go.
I was down there actually watching you.
Yeah, you were.
So
Yeah, so I think a lot of people were. And at the 2-hour 45 mark, that's where you see a marker thrown from the balloon. Perfect throw on the tip of that
I didn't have to
triangle.
tell him where it went, but I was just helping him down there.
You were, and I was beginning to think, he's waiting too long, he's waiting too long, he's waiting too long.
Nope.
But he didn't. He did it right.
It was great. It was a lot of fun down there. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store with all those balloons coming around. What a great day. Hopefully Mother Nature will do what she has to do over tonight and be ready for us first thing tomorrow morning for our Flight of Nations
Mass Ascension.
Yes.
Mass Ascension. So I think we're good here. We've kind of filled all the way. We're not going to go quite to the deal. Just a reminder to like, share, subscribe, buy your pins, buy your stuff. Do all that stuff you need to do. You've got all afternoon to do that. Who do we have?
We have someone that wants to speak with us.
Oh,
Well,
from is it the Whitakers? Yes, bring them around. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, let me go get him. I gotta get Mom from downstairs.
Okay, we'll fill till you get Mom up here.
all right.
Okay. So, it was 53 years ago that we put 13 balloons up at the Coronado Center for the was the 50th birthday? Yeah,
50th
50th
birthday of KKOB Radio. Yes, actually, it was KOB Radio back then.
It was
not
KOB. Yep. Since at those very first radio stations could get away with 3 letters, and the K. Anyway, at one point they had to make them go to 4, or most of them went to 4.
It was 770 on your AM dial.
Right, and it was one of those powerhouse stations.
It
you
was.
know?
It was.
It covered the entire western coast.
I had friends that used to live in Anaheim that on a good day you could get KOB radio in Anaheim, California, or down on the beaches of
especially
Mexico.
at night, because they would turn their signal to broadcast that way. Anyway, 13 balloons made it here, and there was supposed to be 21. There was some issues there, but the Whitakers were part of that, and Bobby Whitaker, mom of the group, who I think is 94 now, is going to make her way up here to the set. And so we'll have a conversation and chat with her in just a moment before we sign off. We're going to shoot for that 9:30 time frame here, so hopefully we can make that. That gives us about 15 minutes. And so we did all those types of things. You know what I didn't do? I forgot to pull the jacket winner, so I'm going to have to do that one tomorrow. But we got all.
And we'll have it first thing in the morning for them.
We'll have it for them. So, and these scores, by the way, are now being posted to a web page called Watch Me Fly. So you can go to watchmefly.com, I believe it is.
You're correct.
And watchme.fly, you'll be able to search for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. You'll be able to see all the scores. Yesterday's scores are posted. Today's scores will be there later this afternoon.
And it will be interesting to see, because there were a lot of awesome drops down there, more so on the eastern target than the western.
Yeah.
But things changed, as we talked about in that competition. You could feel it on the field. You could see poor Natasha Stanky. I mean, you tried, girl. Every which way to Sunday, and she just missed out a little bit.
I think she was up and down for the entire hour of competition was open. And I was saying to folks earlier, normally we want to see the track for where did you go, where I started here and I traveled here and went that way. What I want to see on hers is all the altitude changes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be a really cool track to see.
Yeah. So any pilots out there that would like to share that information with us, you can share it with us at?
Well, I know, BalloonFiestaLive.com. Balloon Fiesta Live at BalloonFiesta.com.
See, I made you do it because I can't remember that.
Well, BalloonFiestaLive.com gets you to the website. BalloonFiestaLive at BalloonFiesta.com is the email address. So, yeah, and if you forget all that, just go to the BalloonFiesta.com page and you'll find ways to get in touch with us about those types of things. But we always like to do that. Where I was going to go with all of that, though, is one of the days of competition, I believe it was last year, I was down there on the field, as you were today, and Natasha's coming in over the field. She's got a great line, a great throw. It was on the Sid Cutter Memorial, and she actually started talking to me as she's coming in, and then, of course, missed the boat with the throw. But she was so excited about being on Balloon Fiesta Live because she had watched it for years. And so excited about it. I made it. And then, unfortunately, the throw wasn't quite there. So, actually, Natasha is a very good and competent competitor in the world of balloon pilots. But you have these days where it's just not your day.
Well, sometimes it just could be a matter of inches, right? Or feet or meters or however you want to measure it out. The pilots were really working it out there today. I mean, it was a lot of fun to be I was standing up and they were everywhere. So I had my cameraman. He was all over the place. He did a fantastic job, by the way.
Yeah. And, I was thinking, we were talking earlier about being able to identify the players by the jerseys and having a set. The other analogy here is that on a court or a field, you've got a target, a goal at this end or that end of the field. We've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, we're going to talk right there. 7 different targets that we're watching as opposed to 1 because, we're all going to this goal. We're all going to this basket.
Right.
We've got 7 out there we've got to watch. And we have you and a couple of cameras out there to be able to do that.
Yeah,
plus 600 players.
And I would have loved to be everywhere, but you can only be in one spot at one time.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. We're going to put that microphone right up there against her mouth there. Yeah, that's so we can hear. Bobby Whitaker, good to see you. How are you?
It's always great to come. We've never missed one year.
Since day number one, right?
Since day one. We were one of the original 13.
A little closer there.
We were one of the original 13.
Yes, you were. We were talking about that. We were setting that up here while you were on your way up here. How is it today, 53 years later, than that first one?
I'm so happy that you guys kept it going. It's,
Okay.
I mean, really. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but
Right.
you keep coming, you keep enjoying. What kind of changes, what does it feel like to you to be coming back year after year?
Well, I think the fact that we've even got more every year, and it's a shame you can't take more because there's a lot more people who'd love to come.
And you know, in that first race of the original 13, Denise was Dad's co-pilot.
Uh-huh.
And they took third place.
Third place.
Nice.
Yeah, and today, it's great that you're here again today with the competition today. Talk about the competition a little bit, Denise.
Well, back then it was a little bit different.
A little closer.
And it was different, and it was, I think it was the Roadrunner.
The
Yeah.
Hare and Hound,
Hare and Hound,
right.
Reno,
Coyote.
named to the
Yeah.
Codo.
And so we actually, when we landed, we were number one, and there were only two balloons airborne yet.
Uh-huh.
And one came in, and they were number one, and then which was Wilma Picard, and then Don Picard came in, and he was number one, so we ended up number 3.
Yeah.
So
But you were number one for a while.
for a while,
For a
yeah.
while.
Hey, but
yeah.
not bad company,
No.
right?
Well, he was lucky because the winds changed.
Oh.
It was the box. It was the first year of really discovering that the box was here,
Oh,
which
right.
makes Albuquerque one of the most beautiful, amazing places to fly in the world, for
Well,
sure.
because we never flew balloons very much here to
Exactly.
even discover the whole
and we're
box
honoring
of it.
Dad. We're still flying his Montgolfier balloon. It was built in 1983 as a replica for
Uh-huh.
the bicentennial of flight, and we're thrilled to have Larry Nicolay here as our chief pilot, and Barbara and Ray that have been coming with Mom and Dad for 26 years.
Wow, incredible, incredible.
Actually, I'm one of a few people here in Albuquerque that have been to all 53. I was
wow.
a 3-year-old child. My mother drove us from our
Wow.
home on Louisiana right to the old field that was there at Coronado Center.
He was the one in the stroller.
I was the one in the stroller.
You remember him, I'm sure.
But I can say I've been to all 53, and it's so great that Matt and yourself have really started what is this tradition along with Sid and the Picards and all those other those great folks of ballooning. We really appreciate it, and so great to see you here, to be
And we're
honest.
sending
with you.
lots of love to Denny Floden's family,
Yes.
who passed
Yes.
just recently, one of the original 13.
Yeah, always sorry to lose those. We're glad that you continue to come back and continue to see you.
Thank you.
Continued good health to you as well.
Thank you. Have a great end of the Fiesta.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Good seeing
ladies.
You. You bet. The Whitaker family, part of the original 13
That's
at the
so cool.
Albuquerque National Balloon Fiesta. Yeah, and it is great to be able to see those. And as they mentioned, we're having less and less of them each year. But it's great too that they continue to come back. But we're starting to talk about the second, third, and now we're even hearing about the fourth
generation
of pilots as well.
The true pioneers of hot air ballooning was right there.
It was right there. Those were the ones, as they said. That was really, I mean, Sid had heard of a large gathering of balloons. And it was kind of like, how can we get in on that? Well, let's bring 21 here. And like we've talked about, only 13 actually made it. And then what do? Well, let's have a balloon race.
Let's have a race. What is that? What's a
Yeah,
balloon
what do we
race?
do? Well, we'll just send one off like the rabbit, and we'll send all the hounds after him. But that's kind of like English, so let's do something Southwest. Let's send the Roadrunner out, and we'll send all the coyotes after him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just great memories.
Great memories.
And we
about-
made some today, so
We did.
I look forward to seeing those scores tonight. We're going to make more memories as this week continues. I had a heck of a time today. I know you've had a great day.
Good job.
as well. Yeah.
Good job down there.
Thank you.
So we're going to wrap it up for this morning. This is the 53rd ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure and share it with all your friends. And if you've missed any of the action, just go back to balloonfiestalive.com. You can watch all of the shows from the past 9 years. Next year is going to be number 10, but we still got a whole lot of action left this year. I'm Art Lloyd Jr.
I'm Ted Maes. So
We'll
long, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Want more balloon action? Visit the archive of Balloon Fiesta Live broadcasts at balloonfiesta.com. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.